back to Mediocre Sports Talk, courtesy of Daniel Marino. Today, I have a very special guest in. It's the one and only Stephen Ellis.
I'm here with Dan Marino. Holy crap! NFL legend, guys. So good.
Yeah, I mean, we got the future Bob McKenzie over here,
Nah.
beside one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time. So, should be some awesome conversations about hockey coming up.
Yeah. No. Wait. What? Hockey? But what hockey do you want to talk about?
Well, definitely nothing that you want to talk about.
Okay, so if you guys want to know, there will be a tournament coming up with Andorra, Portugal. I want to say it's Algeria. Let me confirm that for you guys, because I know it's something you guys it's dear to your hearts.
Oh my god.
It is Andorra versus I don't remember who else, but a lot of other teams. So it's gonna be Andorra's first ever time playing ice hockey and Portugal's first real attempt. So.
Right. So if that's something you're interested in,
well, there's a Jewish hockey tournament going on right now. Canada, Russia, USA, Germany, Israel, and Germany. I think that's it.
And who's gonna win that?
Canada, USA. Canada a couple years ago had Zach Hyman on the team.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
He was a junior A player at the time. So
Jewish.
So yeah, a lot of players named Zach with Canada.
All right. Well, if you haven't been able to tell so far, Steven is all hockey. Like, he lives and breathes it.
It's not even my favorite sport, though. That's the thing.
Well, NASCAR or racing.
Racing's my thing.
Yeah. Okay.
So.
But I mean, like I've said on Twitter a bunch of times, if you enjoy hockey, if you're interested in hockey, if you even know the word hockey, the man to follow is Stephen Ellis. Right?
I don't recommend it. I don't recommend it. You'll get great insight. Like, I'm watching SpongeBob. That was one of my tweets a few days ago. I was watching SpongeBob though. The SpongeBob marathon.
Okay.
Yeah.
You also tweet a lot about international hockey, which I think is cool. Stephen knows a lot about players who are coming up into the league before we even hear about them. Actually, we were thinking about what we're going to talk about today, and I had to shoot down a few of Stephen's ideas because he wanted to talk about some players that have a combined 0 games played in the NHL.
Hey, Mike Liambus, come on, he's 28 years old, 1 game played this last season. Right. Why would you not want to talk about him?
Oh, it's his breakout year, is it?
Exactly. He's really good at punching people in the face. He ended Ben Finelli's career from Oakville, Ontario, played for the Kitchener Rangers.
Does everything come back to Oakville?
Sam Guyne's from Oakville, Steve Mason's from Oakville, John Tavares is from Oakville. Guess what team John Tavares isn't playing for? The Leafs. But guess what team he's going to be playing for? The Islanders. Guess who his line mate's going to be? Jordan Eberle, his first real winger ever.
Wow, that went in a certain direction. I mean, we're talking about Oakville, and now we're talking about future Toronto Maple Leaf centerman.
Sorry, what? Sorry, what?
No, that's not. That's just for the record. I do not believe that's going to happen.
It will not happen. Yeah, he prefers the Islanders. I'll tell you that.
Well, even if he did want to play for Toronto, like where's the cap space?
They'd make it happen if he's available. I'll tell you that. If he was available and the Leafs could realistically get him, they'd do it. And I would even say as far as putting Matthews on the second line for him.
That's the other thing I was going to say is, okay, so then you put Matthews on the second line? It would be kind of
look
like
at Pittsburgh.
Crosby and Malkin.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Malkin is a second line center. Do you think he's a second line center on almost any other team?
No, I mean, he could play for 27, 28 teams and be the top line center.
I'd say he'd go to Washington and he'd still be a second line center, though. Because Backstrom is just an incredible playmaking guy.
Backstrom is an incredible player. I don't know if I'd take him over Malkin.
But see, also it's hard to tell because Malkin's never been the number one guy on the team except for when Crosby was hurt. When Malkin's the one guy in Pittsburgh, he's actually like a star. Mm-hmm. He's one of the best. Easily one of the best players in the league.
Yeah.
But Backstrom, I don't know. Him and Nylander, the Leafs need to find a way to get Backstrom. Because Nylander was so much fun to watch with Backstrom at the World Championships.
I think they're okay with Matthews to Nylander, though.
You should have seen. It was the very first game they had ever played. They didn't even practice together before they went to play in the first game. And they're doing behind-the-back passes, spin deeks. It was fantastic.
Just some natural chemistry.
So good together. That'd be such a fun combination to watch.
Okay. I mean, I don't think it's realistic that Backstrom's going to end up playing for the Leafs or Nylander's going to end up playing for the Capitals.
Again, did anyone think a couple years ago Patrick Marleau would be a Leaf?
Well, okay, that's a little bit different.
Do you remember when the Sharks were so fun to watch in about 2010 when it was Thornton at center, Heatley at right wing, Marleau at left wing?
Heatley.
What a fun line that was.
No. Do you remember Jonathan Cheechoo?
Oh, yeah.
Jonathan Cheechoo, man.
Yeah, well, he just retired.
I think he just retired.
I believe.
I thought he was dead.
No, he was playing the KHL for a few years. And
really?
He's a good player.
He was American, right? Or was he Canadian?
No, he's Canadian.
He's Canadian?
I think.
That guy, I think he owes Joe Thornton every single
Oh,
time
everything.
that he's owned or like,
Oh no,
his career.
he's still playing. Yeah, never mind. I thought he retired. He's from Moose Factory, Ontario. What a name! And he had 40 points in 60 games, which is actually the second best numbers he's had in the KHL. Let's not forget that. He actually he played for the Sharks for many years, went to Ottawa for a year, and then came back to the Sharks, but only played in the AHL.
That's right. I remember that.
Then
Wait, how many years did he play for Ottawa?
The Ottawa one.
Just 1 year.
Yeah, he had 14 points.
And what like does it say the contract there? I want to see how much money he earned after he left San Jose.
Probably a whole lot of nothing. It's like, again, no one will say that he deserved all those goals. Yeah, he got really lucky. It was let's see, he paid. Apparently, his contract was $0 for the first couple of years.
Yeah.
He was in a $3 million deal with the Sharks. $3 million. Oh well, apparently again he was paid $760,000 to get 56 goals in 05-06.
Wow.
Which is less than his first year in the NHL. That's nuts.
Yeah.
Played $3 million contract after that. Imagine only getting a $3 million deal after getting 56 goals.
I mean, someone knew something, right? I just wonder what he made with. Does it?
$600K.
He only made $600K with.
Well, no, sorry, no. $3 million in his last year.
Okay.
$600K when he went back to San Jose.
Right. Yeah, you would expect that he would have got more.
Yeah,
I
wow.
mean, good for for the teams not throwing out.
But what a
that much
bargain!
money.
What a bargain! Like he goes out and gets 56 goals, and then I don't know, like a minimum contract almost. Next year gets a $3 million deal. That's a bargain. You know, again,
It is a bargain that
was Thornton at his prime.
Yeah. I guess people just knew.
And let's not forget that Thornton was just traded mid-season. It wasn't the whole year he was there.
That's true.
So
Yeah.
Chichu did play well beforehand. It was just that all of a sudden you got the number one centerman and the best playmaker in the league outside of Marc Savard, and you're incredible. So I miss Marc Savard.
Yeah. I don't.
Why?
Because I don't like the team he played for.
Oh, okay, you know what? It's funny. I'm not a Bruins fan. Actually, I hate the Bruins. They're my second least favorite team.
Right.
Actually, they're third least favorite outside of Philly and Ottawa.
Right.
But Tim Thomas is one of my favorite players of all time. I like Milan Lucic. I loved Marc Savard.
No, I don't.
All Bruins.
I don't dislike Savard. I was just saying that
Yeah.
I don't miss him because.
Well, I hope you do for his reasons why he had to leave. But
no, of course.
he just got traded to somewhere. I think he got traded to Philadelphia or Florida.
Man, we are.
His
going
contract
way
is
off
kind of
topic.
he and Chris Pronger are still considered active players in the NHL.
Chris Pronger.
Chris Pronger just got hired by Florida.
Yeah, I saw that.
Where does this come from?
Speaking of Chris Pronger getting hired by Florida, what's he like, an assistant GM or something like that?
I can't remember.
Why? I heard them talking about this on the Fan 590 the other day. Why can't Shane Doan lock a job up like that with Arizona? Or is he just insistent on playing and that's why?
I feel like that's probably the case. I think he still feels like he could. I've heard as high as a 2-year deal. And put it this way, I think the Coyotes are a better team without him.
Yeah, I mean,
But the other thing with the Coyotes, he's stuck. I think they should have found a way to keep him, even if it's
Yeah,
we're going to keep you to a minimum deal. If it's his agent saying being a little stubborn, we want a bit more money, it's sorry, dude, you don't deserve it anymore.
Yeah.
And it would have been pretty cool to see him retire. I feel like he'll come back to the team in
At
some
some
form,
point,
not as a player. He'll retire the team, kind of like Danny Alfredson, and then Alfredson just left the Senators.
yeah. Where they sign a 1-day contract and then retire.
Yeah, because they gave the chance to go to Detroit. It's here's a chance to win the cup.
Mm-hmm.
And Vancouver was given Sundin
Yep.
to win a cup
Definitely
just a
remember
couple of years too early.
Yeah.
And,
yeah, that's right. Yeah.
And that's.
I wish they won the cup that year. No other year would I cheer for Vancouver to win the cup, but that year.
I couldn't stand that team. I would have cheered for Sundin. The minute all the rumors on free agent or the not free agent, but the draft day was he was going to Montreal. I'm like,
No, that's unacceptable.
I don't think any Leafs fan would have liked that at all.
Well, they Leafs Nation kind of buried him after he left.
Yeah, well,
Right?
to be fair, you know what?
Vancouver, not Montreal. If he went to Montreal,
Put it this way: they gave him a hard time, and they shouldn't have.
No,
that was wrong 100%. You know what? This guy gave his heart and soul to stick with a team that was never going to win a cup with him there, and it wasn't his fault. It was not his fault. The team was giving him guys like Ponikarovsky to go play with.
Didn't they have that line, the Antropov, Ponikarovsky, Sundin line? Didn't they try putting the three of them together?
Yeah,
Like
which is like two of them are centermen. And
yeah, exactly.
Sundin. And like the other thing about that is, like he had interesting line mates with McGillney and Gary Roberts, but they were also at the end of their careers pretty much when they were playing together.
Well, yeah, McGillney's by far the best winger that Sundin ever played with, right?
Oh, for sure.
And then, like you said, Gary Roberts was right at the end of his career.
But he had a couple years.
I was going to say, he had
like
a few years with
4
Pittsburgh.
or 5, and
was it 4 or 5 years?
He went to Tampa too, because he became Stamkos' like
that's right
his personal trainer.
That's right.
But like, what do you call it? Like Sundin was easily one of the most fun players to ever watch.
Oh yeah.
And when he left, yeah, that was a heartbreaker. That even when you as a House fan, you're thinking like I couldn't see him on any other team.
No.
Goes to Vancouver, and of course he scores that huge goal in the shootout, and that was just perfect send off.
Mm-hmm.
And again, like so it kind of sucks because Sundin hasn't been a part of like any like special like Leaf things ever since. Like when they had the 100th anniversary thing, I don't think he was there.
Yeah, I think it's because he's a really quiet guy. Like he doesn't want to be in the spotlight anymore now that his career's done.
Again, I understand, but it's like
I think it's more of a him thing than.
Well, let's also not forget once Gretzky left the Coyotes, he was like absent from anything NHL.
Yeah,
it was a big deal when he rejoined the NHL as an ambassador this year. I'm curious what he does in the long run. And did I ever tell you that he was the first guy I ever asked a question to at a press conference?
Wayne Gretzky?
Yeah. So
not bad.
All right, so here's a quick story. So the World Cup of Hockey, I'm covering it, and it was the day of. I believe it was Sweden versus Europe to see who go play in the finals, and it's like 2:00 in the afternoon, and like arena's empty, and we're all just kind of like, okay, we know Canada's gonna win no matter what. Let's get on with this.
Yeah.
Like win the finals. So Europe wins, everyone's shocked, but it goes to overtime. It's like, okay, we got to go to this Gretzky thing. Problem was there's no transit to. At least transit where we would have been able to make it on time from the Air Canada Centre to Maple Leaf or the Fan Village, which was somewhere Distillery District.
Okay.
So it's like 25-minute walk. So we go walk there, and we just missed the opportunity to go pick up our media passes to do like a little media briefing behind the stage. You stand backstage with Gretzky, and I had backstage passes for Green Day until they canceled. Yeah, that was a bummer.
I remember that. Yeah.
Anyway, so I get there late, and then they're picking random people out of the crowd, and they're like, "Hey, would you like to ask a question to Gretzky?" I'm like, "Okay."
Yeah,
like I was going to do it anyway. So
yeah.
Cool. So I got to ask a question on the speaker, and it was a question they made me ask, and then the next day, it's announced that he's joining the NHL in a new ambassador role, and people they were taking questions from the media, and Sportsnet was broadcasting the whole thing, and I got to ask a question. That was the first time I ever asked a question at a media conference like that, and it was for Wayne Gretzky. And trust me, I was nervous, but he actually he laughed and liked my question, which was like if he could play with any Team Canada ever, and I think he just gave like a pretty generic response. It's like, these new guys are the greatest. It's like. Well,
course, yeah.
But he ended up saying the '87 World Cup team that he was on.
Okay.
So it's like, okay, I kind of understood. I missed a TV class that day for that press conference.
Oh yeah.
And my teacher said, "You got to be here to learn how to do some interviews." And I'm like, "Sorry, I'm just asking a question to Wayne Gretzky." And then a couple days before, you got to film. You got to learn how to film people on interviews. So sorry, I'm doing an interview of Sidney Crosby.
Oh, that's right. You had that interview with.
Like it was kind of it was like a media scrum, but it's like sorry, I'm a part of this. It's a little more important than interviewing a teacher. Come on. So I didn't do well in that class because I missed a lot of it because of things like that. But it was. Yeah. Well, it was worth it.
For a little bit of context, me and Steven both go to Ryerson University. We're in the journalism program. The only difference is that I came here to actually learn how to become an all-star journalist. Steven was already an all-star journalist. He's just
I wouldn't say that.
Bro, this guy...
I literally just got my first job in media. I can't say what it is yet, but...
Right. Okay, but... Did you not have your own show on Leafs TV before you met me?
I had a show on Kojiko and then Leafs TV and then 2 seasons on Rogers, and right now we're trying to find a new network.
Right. So
which won't be any of those.
But what I'm saying is, you just came here for a degree. That's it.
You didn't come here to need context and to be as honest as I possibly can, and I hope the Ryerson journalism program's listening to this right now. It's been a waste of time.
Right.
Oh, like the Rice Journalism Twitter account unfollowed me because I trashed it too much. Like that tag in the mid-tweets.
Oh, I don't even have them. I don't follow them on Twitter.
Oh, it's half of it's just retweeting BuzzFeed articles and stuff.
Oh, nice. I don't really get involved with that kind of stuff with school. Honestly, like, it's funny that you say that about the TV class because you of all people did not need to be in that TV class.
I was never on camera once.
Yeah, you told me that. Yeah, you.
But the first year TV class I did the sports.
Right, but like, what was I gonna say? Like that TV class is one of the 2 classes that I learned the most of in all of my 3 years so far.
I like that class because it gave me a chance to be behind the camera, or like to control the camera in a lot of cases and do the editing. Because like when I'm on the show, like I don't do the camera and I don't do the editing.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you that sometimes it doesn't like it work. Like I love to do the editing, but it was nice to kind of do that side because it's like it's different and it's like, you know what, I couldn't sit there and talk on camera and do interviews with like. The weather outside is great today, or what are your thoughts on reading week? Like I couldn't do things like that. That's why like I'm a little scared for the Ryerson this coming year. And if you're in second term, we get the same one, or not second term, but second half. So
yeah. So actually, it looks like I'm going to be doing it for all 12 weeks. So
what?
We'll talk about that after we're done recording. Yeah.
I'll do that.
I'll walk you through it. It's, no, but I mean at the Ryerson and at the internship at the same time.
Okay.
Yeah. We'll talk about that after. But no, what I was gonna say was in that TV class, just because you said how you missed those 2 weeks in a row, or whatever, that's one class that I would never ever miss. Right? I don't skip.
Well, the problem is like my teacher was so lenient. Like I know your teacher.
Yeah, I had Mark. Well,
a producer or former producer on the National.
Exactly. Yeah, I had Mark Bulgich, who was the lineup editor for the National for 11 years, and I think he told us that no one has ever done it for more than like 2 years. Other than him, right?
And like I think my teacher like just watched TV a couple times and then decided to be a teacher off it. So like I don't know.
Well, I can't comment on that, but I just know the only time that I almost missed the class was when I was actually lineup editor for the day. And I was kind of nervous about it. I almost didn't volunteer for it because, again, Mark was the lineup editor for the National, right?
So
he knows
that's his
stuff.
position.
Exactly. And he kind of told us at the beginning of the semester, like, if the lineup editor screws up, the whole show goes downwards.
Yep.
And then he's also said, like, what I've been told all semester is that when you are the lineup editor, he's over your shoulder all day.
Yeah.
Right? So I'm kind of nervous about it, whatever. We had class at 9 in the morning. It would be 9 till 4, I think the class was. And the only day I would show up semi-late to every class, either get there right on time or.
Which is hilarious since you, like, for context, he lives like a couple minute walk away.
Yeah, 2 minutes from class. When you get used to living so close, like, you're just like, oh, I can sleep a little longer. And then the next thing you know, class starts in 5 minutes.
Hey, good thing you never had to commute every single day like I did first year.
I know. I
Rest
feel
in
bad
peace.
about that. But anyway, this class was the first time that I was really late because I ended up. My alarm didn't go off. I guess I don't know if I forgot to set it or what. And when I woke up, I don't know what woke me up. But I woke up at 9:30 and I was like, holy, like, my heart dropped.
For perspective, this class technically was supposed to start at 10 o'clock, but made to go at 9.
Well, yeah, Mark said that we all had to be there at 9 o'clock. I ended up getting there just as he was about to give my job away, and he actually didn't get as mad as I thought, but that was nerve-wracking.
Well, see, like, I helped out with the, what was it? I helped out with the producer role, I guess, the one time, and that was fun. Like, again, that was in your class. I spent more time in your class sometimes than my own class. Different semester. Well, because my class that I had at that time would just end at, like, what was it? It would start at 8 a.m., it ended at 9. I'm like, well, got a lot of hours to kill now, so what am I going to do? So I go just join the class. So.
Yeah, no, I remember that one day when they had the, I don't know if this is a year-long thing or, like, it's just, like, they do it every once in a while, but you know how Burger King has those 10 chicken nuggets for, like, $2 or whatever?
Yeah, that was just, like...
I remember the one time when you were there.
Oh, I made you guys so unproductive.
Yeah, I know. Well, I mean, that day I had the text on video assignment, which takes like 5 minutes, so I was like, whatever.
Yeah.
So get some chicken.
Have you been paying attention to what's going on Fox Sports right now?
Fox Sports is...
Fired all their written journalists.
Oh, did they?
And the guy who fired them all just got fired yesterday.
Yeah.
But he got fired under sexual abuse allegations.
But
part of it is, I think his name was Jamie Howitzer.
it's almost like an epidemic in the sports media world right now, right? With you, where you like you've heard about Skip Bayless and all those guys, right? Where they just
Screaming la la la.
exactly, yeah, and they attempt to just find the hottest takes they could possibly find and just stretch them.
Do you think Connor McDavid deserves to go to the AHL? Yeah, I do, man.
Well, thankfully they're not that involved in hockey right now because they're mostly American. But
they've had opinions about NASCAR too.
Yeah, well, but like Skip's biggest thing is that he picks on LeBron James, right?
Isn't that ESPN's like love?
Well, he left ESPN. Or you're saying ESPN loves LeBron?
Yeah.
Yes. Well, I don't even know that they would. I would say that they, like a lot of their guys do pick on LeBron. LeBron is the biggest athlete under a microscope right now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But whether it's good or bad, they just always talk about LeBron. It's every single headline on their website is LeBron James. If you go to the States and you watch SportsCenter, it's LeBron James, LeBron James,
Yep.
LeBron James, LeBron James. Even in the off season when the Cavaliers aren't even making any moves right now. But I just think that Fox Sports is really pushing that whole trolling kind of sports show host thing. That's like kind of ruining sports media right now.
Yeah,
right?
and that's the thing. My biggest concern is the clickbait stuff online.
Yeah,
because like Undisputed is the show they do, right?
Yeah. Undisputed is Skip Bayless and Shannon Sharp's show. Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Regardless, that show's not going to get ratings.
No.
But what they're hoping is they can just continue to do clickbait articles, and they've been doing that in NASCAR for a long time. Not clickbait articles, clickbait videos. It'd be like, you'll never believe this amazing highlight. It'll be something generic and stupid. It's like, so, wow, that movie called Undisputed. So quite the storyline there. Probably not what their show's about.
No, it's Skip Bayless and Shannon Sharp on Undisputed. But no, what I was gonna say is, do you follow Richard Deitch on Twitter?
Oh yeah, I know who he is. Yeah, I don't follow him though.
Okay, so this guy, literally every single time Skip Bayless tweets something that's stupid, which is pretty much every day, he'll quote it and just list off ratings for some random kids TV show being 1.23 million, same time slot, Undisputed, 103,000 viewers or whatever.
But the difference is isn't the show in the middle of the day?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, so that doesn't exactly
help. Same time slot.
Yeah, but remember kids getting home from school and watching it compared to this isn't a kids show.
But if it's a Wednesday at what time do kids get home from school?
In a lot of cases they get home by 3:00.
I guess. I don't know. He was getting a lot better numbers when he was at ESPN.
But if they wanted to get good ratings, they'd put that show at 9:00, or the problem is if you put it in the daytime, the ratings are never going to be good. That's why you don't see a lot of great shows in the middle of the day. That's why you get the infomercials in those days.
Yeah, I understand that, but if they were the Fox Sports is. I don't think the problem is the time slot. I think the problem is Fox Sports.
But again, I think if it was such a big deal, they've had it for a while, they could have either changed the time slot or they could have got the rid of the whole show. Right? So there must be something more to it then.
But they can't get rid of the show. They're paying Skip Bayless $6.5 million a year right now. He's making more than NHL. He's making more than Patrick Marleau slightly.
Yeah.
So it'd be kind of hard to cut that out right now. Right? But I don't know. If you look at the top 3 guys at Fox Sports right now, they have Skip Bayless is the one that they're driving behind the most. Colin Cowherd is getting a massive push at Fox Sports right now. Almost as big as Skip, maybe even bigger than Skip, even though all the money's in Skip. Although both of them did come over from ESPN. And then Jason Whitlock. I don't know which one's the worst. I think Skip is probably the worst because he has the biggest following.
Yeah.
Cowherd's the biggest.
Cowherd.
Yeah, well, his last name's Cowherd, but he's probably the biggest douche. He just everything he says just sounds really non-genuine. He sounds like a really rich guy that's talking to a toddler when he's speaking. And then, but at least his hot takes aren't as bad. Although he is so wish-washy. One thing that Skip you can't take away from Skip is that he'll stick to his opinion. This
Don
guy.
Cherry.
Yeah, pretty much. Skip has been saying LeBron James sucks for 10 years now, and despite LeBron James being quite possibly the greatest player of all time, he is stuck by that. As dumb as that is, at least he stays by his opinions. Cowherd is Aaron Rodgers is done. He's shot. The Packers would be better without Aaron Rodgers. And then Rodgers has 2 good games in a row. And it's like, Aaron Rodgers is the best player in the NFL right now and deserves to be MVP every season. So. And then Whitlock is like, oh, that guy's infuriating. This guy, first of all, he's sexist, right?
Okay.
I don't know. You've probably never heard him talk about MMA. But I distinctly remember them trying to break down a Ronda Rousey fight and him saying, well, first off, I don't think women should be fighting. That's not a woman's place. He goes, I enjoy a man, like watching men fight, but that's just not a woman. That's not a womanly thing to do, right? Because apparently, pursuing your goals as an athlete, as a premier athlete in the world, is not a womanly thing to do.
And I'm assuming when they start training at a young age for things like that, like Ronda Rousey, I bet she wasn't also aiming to go to the MMA. She was looking for different types of martial arts, and then eventually just kind of...
Yeah, exactly. She started off by winning a bronze medal in judo in the Olympics.
Exactly.
Right?
I didn't actually know that. That's cool.
Yeah. But, although if you ask Dana White, he'll probably tell you that she won like 5 golds in the same Olympics for wrestling, judo, and all that crap. It's a bronze medal for judo, one time.
So he's just going off of fake news?
Well, he's a promoter, right?
He's won all these awards. She has won all the awards. No.
Yeah. Okay. But, what's it called?
28-time Stanley Cup champion, Wendell Clark. Woohoo!
No, but then the other thing with Whitlock is that he brings, do you know what's it called, an Uncle Sam? Or, yeah. You know, like, basically it's a black person who is racist towards black people, right?
Yeah.
Anytime race gets brought up, this guy, like, with the whole Colin Kaepernick thing, certain comments about Colin Kaepernick over the last year have absolutely 100% been race-driven. Like, there's really no argument about it, right?
Yeah.
And this guy comes up on Fox Sports being like, as a black man, I don't believe in anything this guy stands for. And I think that racism doesn't exist in today's America. And it's like, have you turned on the news recently, right? Also saying that, like, Black Lives Matter, he wants to see Black Lives Matter destroyed and stuff like that. Like, it's just, he brings unnecessary politics into sports, but in a really, really bad way.
I'm just saying, I'm glad Sean King's not a sports.
Sean
God, he's not such a...
But Sean King won't stay away from MMA now. This guy's obsessed with Conor McGregor.
Why? Like in a good, positive way for once?
No, he thinks Conor McGregor is like the devil.
For what?
His antics are. You know what? I gotta look it up.
Like I know I know McGregor is like really full of himself, but I think that's good.
Yeah, McGregor is actually like a good person.
But I kind of like that. It's gotta be. You gotta have a cockiness attitude if you're gonna beat the shit out of somebody.
Yeah, no, absolutely. No, you know what? He talks the way he does because, one, he has the confidence, right, and that's necessary to be one of the best fighters in the world. And two,
like being a white supremacist. What?
Yeah. But two, like, he's selling the fight. This is what people want to hear. That's why people want to watch every McGregor fight. Look at this guy. I have something to say about Conor McGregor. The man on the left in this picture. There's no actual picture here. I'm assuming there used to be. He's a bigot. On multiple occasions now, in the name of trash-talking and hyping a fight, he has crossed several lines from insulting the fighter to being a white supremacist. To being a white supremacist.
This guy, again, this dude, for people who don't follow him, he likes to blow everything out of proportion, like times a zillion.
Everything out of proportion. He called Conor McGregor a white supremacist. What? Come on.
And then it's apparently he's literally Donald Trump in the last line.
Oh yeah. He called Conor McGregor literally Donald Trump. He said that multiple times though. If any black athlete said these things, they'd be suspended or dropped from their endorsement deals. That's 100% false. What?
Okay. Again, stay away from sports, dude.
We're going off the rails here.
Stay away from sports, Mr. Sean.
Yeah. No, Sean King's he's dirt. That guy's opinion's worthless.
Want to talk about a crappy journalist. Anyways.
Yeah, anyway. All right, we'll be right back with a little bit of a recap of NHL free agency. Okay, welcome back to Mediocre Sports Talk, where we make your sports talk mediocre.
Yeah, we don't even talk about sports, apparently.
Well, I mean, most of that was about sports. We talk about
we
Fox
reference sports, but like not the right sports.
Hey man, it's a podcast on my blog. We can talk about whatever the hell I want to talk about. But let's talk about some NHL free agency, man. That did just happen this past weekend, right?
Oh, did it?
I thought you were like the perfect person to bring on for this.
Yeah, I did a 5-hour podcast, which I wish you would have been able to come on for.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a good. Okay, I shouldn't say it was good. It could have been the worst free agency I've seen in a while, but a couple of interesting players like Kevin Shattenkirk, and it was one of the very first I was emotionally disappointed with, and in terms of the Montreal Canadiens.
Well, I mean, I see what you're saying with Montreal. I don't know. I don't think, like you said, it wasn't the worst free agency. It just wasn't. I think we got a little spoiled last year.
We got lucky in the last 2 years, I'd say, because they were huge ones. And let's not forget, 2 years ago we saw the Kessel trade, and
That's right.
that was a big deal. And last year, part of the story was the fact that, holy crap, we actually just saw two massive trades a couple days before.
Well, no, that's what I was gonna say is that last year in one half hour period alone, we saw more blockbuster moves than you usually do in an entire offseason. Like you had
Entire year.
Yeah, exactly. You had Taylor Hall being traded. You had Shea Weber for PK Subban, which I've been saying for a year now is one of the weirdest, most awesomest trades I've ever seen.
Okay, you ask a Habs fan, they hate Weber. You ask a lot of people, they hate Weber. Let's just put it this way: Weber was the second best defenseman in 5-on-5 play that played at least 1,000 minutes, which is at least 60 games as a top 4 defenseman.
Yeah, I think people are just gonna nitpick the hell out of Weber because he was traded for PK.
And the only guy that was better than him was Markov.
Oh, wow, that
Believe it or not.
That surprises me. But man, Shea Weber has been the best or one of the best defensemen in the NHL for most of his career.
He came 5th in Norris voting this year. Subban didn't make the top 20.
Yeah, I mean, there's more to the trade than that. Like,
you are the
trading.
contract along the way, a couple years down, is the most important thing, I think.
Yeah, exactly. Especially when you look at Weber's age compared to Subban's age.
Let's not forget which team wins that trade. If you just say, but don't give me an explanation.
Wait. Which team wins the trade, like, right now or overall?
Overall. But without an explanation. I'll tell you why.
Okay. I've gone back and forth on this a lot.
You're not even going to guess my opinion.
I'm going to say that Montreal.
I'm going to say Philadelphia.
What?
Philadelphia was the one that signed Weber to that deal on the offer sheet.
That's right.
Screwed over everybody in that case.
That's right.
Signed them to a deal that the Preds were never going to accept.
Yeah.
Well, they pretty much had to accept at that point.
Yeah.
They almost couldn't because they had very little money. They had to find the money, signed him in the last possible second, and they traded him off to Montreal. Montreal's not going to do that. I think Philadelphia wins that deal. So, anyways.
Yeah,
Did you expect that answer?
No, I didn't. I remember that Philly gave them that huge offer sheet, and then most people were saying the Preds weren't going to match, and then they did end up matching, and it makes sense that the contract is one of the biggest reasons why they had to make the trade. I think if you're talking between the Predators and the Habs, I say.
Right now, Habs win. Later on, I think.
That's what I was going to say.
Subban picks up from this year. Subban did not have a good year.
He didn't have a bad year.
He didn't have a bad year, but it was not a good compared to Montreal years.
I mean, yeah, but
it was probably one of his worst seasons in the NHL. Actually, he went on and played for Stanley Final though.
Yeah, exactly.
But let's be honest. I don't think he was that great in the finals, anyways.
No, I don't know. I just think, like you said, short term Habs win because I think as good as PK Subban is, regardless of how you think he was this past season, as good as PK Subban is, Shea Weber's better. And he's more like traditional defenseman.
Shea Weber actually knows how to play defense.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Subban would just give the puck up so many times.
Exactly. He doesn't make those stupid mistakes. Like Weber does not make those stupid mistakes. And he has not as much offensive upside as PK, but he has really good offensive upside.
I'm pretty sure Still did better offensively this year.
Yeah,
so,
there you go.
Let's not forget that Weber was one of Nashville's biggest offensive catalysts for years, and that's the thing. His play hadn't changed when he went to Montreal because Nashville he had to create all the offense. Montreal he doesn't. Except it would have been nice if somebody created the offense in the playoffs.
Yeah, that's right. But then long term, when you look at it, I mean you basically traded an elite defenseman for a borderline elite defenseman but the borderline defenseman or elite defenseman is way younger.
Yeah.
Right. So overall, I think that actually, I know I just had the Habs before, but I meant the Predators.
Yeah, I think that if
win that,
assuming Subban doesn't Subban still plays at a strong level,
which
because keeping his contract a couple extra years, I don't think that means much when, he's still going to be pretty good at that point.
Yeah, exactly. But anyway, in terms of this year's offseason,
which wasn't as interesting.
Yeah, but again, we got spoiled last year.
Yeah.
Like that half-hour period, there's so much happened. But this year we have some interesting moves. Right off the top, because we are in Toronto, so we're going to start off with Patrick Marleau to the Maple Leafs. We talked a little bit before the podcast started recording, and look, it turns out we have differing opinions on this. If you guys have been reading my blog, you'll have seen my post yesterday, so you'll know my opinion on it. I'll probably repeat it more passionately, but Steven, you want to take the floor? Oh, God.
Why?
What do you mean, why?
Why?
What do you mean, why?
An aging winger at $6.25 million for 3 more years. If the assumption is they're going to get rid of him in the third year, why is the third year really what's got the Leafs to sign him? Is that why he agreed, because of the third year?
Maybe. I wouldn't be surprised if I'm a guy. If I'm 37 years old, still playing high level hockey, I want to do whatever I can to get security.
I think he makes
financially.
This next season. I think he makes the team better, because even if they do keep JVR, putting him in the top 6 is better than putting Komarov in the top 6.
Well, it wouldn't be Komarov.
Well, Komarov.
It'd be Hyman. Which is why it's a big improvement.
It's a big improvement for him. But Komarov, I don't know. I like Komarov a lot personally. Let's not forget Komarov 2 years ago led the team in scoring.
Well, when they had Kadri, Komarov, and JVR Bozak.
They Grabner and Parento.
Oh, crap.
That was fun, right?
No, that season sucked. It almost drove me away from hockey. No, I knew what they were doing. It was fine.
This year, are you still a Jays fan right now?
The Jays. I'll always be a Jays fan. It's just every day is harder and harder to watch. It's hard to be invested in a team that you know is not. The Jays
7-1 was bad enough, and then lose 15-1 the next day. That's quite the fail.
At
home too, right?
Yeah. Well, it's Canada Day, so.
Yeah.
No, the biggest thing with the Jays is that that makes it hard to watch. It's not just that they got killed those games. It's that it's becoming more and more apparent that by July 31st they're going to kind of blow up. Don't be shocked if Josh Donaldson gets traded. Don't be shocked if I can see them trading Russ. I think you can get a lot of value out of a guy I don't know, his contract's kind of big, but a catcher that talented offensively and defensively has so much value in the MLB. And then Tulo, if they could move his contract, they would, but he's untradeable at this point. He could be the best shortstop in baseball once again, and they wouldn't be able to trade him with that contract and his age. Hap might get traded, Estrada, literally everyone except for Devin Travis. I would say Justin Smoke. I wouldn't be shocked if they traded him, but I would not trade him. Devin Travis, Justin Smoke, those are your core pieces on offense. Obviously not any of their big prospects, because you're now selling, you're not buying. And then Stroman, Sanchez, and I would never in a million years trade Osuna. I know you can get the biggest return in the world.
Yeah, you'll get a huge return, but if you are going to rebuild the team, you kind of need him there.
Yeah, rebuild. Your bullpen is going to center around Osuna. Your starting pitching is centered around Sanchez, Stroman. Your batting is around Travis, Smoke, and the few guys that you have in the farm system like Vlad Guerrero. Rowdy Tellez is supposed to be really good, and then everyone else is expendable. Even I had Pilar in that category before, but screw it, man. Just if you can get a good return for Pilar, just trade him.
And that sucks, because it's the team that it transformed a city into a baseball city again.
Yeah, I know.
And to see them pretty much have to just kind of blow it up.
Well, that's why I wrote that article the other day about Alex Anthopoulos, about how he built that team. They went from...
Yeah, and overrated.
Well, yeah, because he did build a very, very good baseball team, because in 2015 and even last year, they were a powerhouse in the AL. They were... in 2015, they had a historically good offense. And then last year, the offense dipped a bit, even though it really shouldn't have, because they got Travis back.
Yeah.
But pitching-wise, they had the best rotation in baseball. and then their bullpen ended up picking it up in the second half of the season. So, like, he built a really good team. It just was never meant to last. It was very short-sighted. It was, let's trade all these prospects for all these guys who are kind of older and have big contracts and are good right now, but in 2 or 3 years it's going to look like shit, and that's now what's happening. It's worth it if you win a World Series, but they never did.
And like I think the problem was, at least the first year they made it to the finals a couple years ago, it's like, or they made it to the playoffs, it's like that was their best chance.
Yeah.
I don't think the year after was a good chance.
Well,
then last year just wasn't.
Yeah, when they played KC, I had no doubt in my mind. Even when they were down 3-1 against KC,
they still had a good chance.
I had no doubt in my mind.
And they were close. They were close to the final game.
Yeah, that sucked.
Anyways, let's talk about hockey.
Yeah, we got way off topic.
Again,
yeah, we're struggling to stay on topic. But back to the Marlowe deal. Like I said, if I was a player, 37 years old,
this is the team I want to be with. Yeah.
Yeah, no, but not even just that. Like, it's still producing. I would definitely want as much security as possible. Look at, Joe Thornton signed his deal for 1 year, $8 million, right? So technically speaking, if Marlowe signs a shorter deal, he's going to get more money per year. But now he has that security that he's going to be paid he's paid in different ways, but like the cap hit every year is $6.25 million for 3 years, right? He has the security that he's going to be paid all 3 years.
So let's take a look here. So he's going to be the most played player.
Yep.
So by the time that he'll still have 1 more year left in the contract, and they will have to deal with. Well, I guess they're not going to bring back Lupul, so it doesn't matter. They have to worry about what to do with JVR, Bozak, Komarov, which I guess is kind of like up in the air. You're going to have to deal with Nylander, and you're going to have to deal with Connor Brown and Hyman.
Zach Hyman, yeah.
That's a lot of guys you got to deal with before that on one position. And then also, let's not forget, you're going to have to deal with, if you want to bring Carrick or Marinson back.
Okay, yeah, because they're going to be super expensive.
like
Marinson. Is it Marinson or Marincin?
I've heard both.
Exactly. And
they're like, do you want to bring back Tim Gleason? Like, I don't know. It's a tough one.
Tim Gleason?
Grabowski's still getting paid till 2021.
Isn't Kessel getting paid till 2021 too?
Who?
Phil Kessel?
Not that I see.
Well,
wait, yes. The next year after that.
Yeah, I see. There you go, 2022. No, I see what you're saying here. I'm going to pull up on the laptop so it's easier to see. I see what you're saying, but the money is there. Like, right now, I know if you go to Cap Friendly, it'll say that they're actually like $1 million over the cap right now. But right now, that's also including the Lupul and Horton contracts, right? So take those off because they're still in Lou Lamoriello's basement, right?
Yeah.
You take those two off, and they're actually like $8 million over. So you're saying they have to worry about signing Van Riemsdyk, Bozak.
And I don't think they bring Bozak, honestly.
No,
but they could at a cheaper price.
Bozak's not long for this team. That's what I've been saying since the beginning. That's why last week when me and John were on the podcast, we were talking about signing Joe Thornton because Bozak is not going to be re-signed, right? You sign Joe Thornton, and now the Thornton thing could happen next year, right?
Yeah, I think that's also almost like the idea. He won't be back in the Sharks. It's his farewell season with the Sharks.
Yeah, exactly. You have, if Bozak walks next season, you give Thornton a 1 year deal or whatever, and then you actually upgrade at center, obviously, because Thornton is better than Bozak. It's not a short-sighted move because Bozak's not coming back anyway.
But again, here's the thing. You want to sign Nylander and Matthews specifically as soon as possible. Because you could sign Matthews next summer, and you could sign Nylander now. Nylander, I would not be shocked if you asked for $7 million because most paid player in the game. Then you got to ask about Matthews. Then you got to wonder, is Marner worth more than Nylander?
Yeah.
And that's going to be pretty expensive between those three. And then Connor Brown, you want to keep around. Zach Hyman, you want to keep around.
They're gonna find this one contract that's only 3 years is not gonna stop.
But it's the problem is I don't think the team really should have spent a lot of money on a guy who likely won't be there in his third year. And yeah, if they trade him, it's perfect. It's just the issue of they don't. And that's the thing.
I just have no reason to doubt that they will.
I'm not concerned about the team necessarily even next offseason with that. It's just
The third year, that's what you're worried about? Man, if this management has showed us anything, it's that they know what they're doing. If they need to get rid of that Marlowe contract, which they probably will, they will get rid of that contract.
They'll have to retain salary. I think that's a guarantee.
Yeah,
but he will only be getting, like, his cap hit is that much, but it's about, I think it's just under $2 million is his actual salary in his third year.
Yeah, no.
Which makes it a lot more.
It's actually one something.
Yeah, so it makes it real easy for a team like the Coyotes and Vegas to go after him.
Yeah, because they only have to pay him, what, like a $1.5 million.
I don't know. I think you could have used those for younger, cheaper pieces, or you could have even got Radulov, kept him in long term for a similar deal.
Man, Marlowe brings so much.
But so does Radulov. Radulov was better offensively last year.
Yeah, that's fine. Okay, look.
And he's not 35 years old.
Wait. Patrick Marlowe has not scored less than 25 goals in how long? Since like '98. I was 2 years old. Okay? Patrick Marlowe, so he's consistently scoring over 25 goals. Okay? He's good on the power play. He's good on the penalty kill. He's a veteran. Like, he has the experience that nobody on this team has. Right?
Well,
he's been to the Stanley Cup Finals.
I think one thing was, like, when I brought Hainsey and Dominic Moore as two older guys who can come and be more experienced guys.
Yeah, but not on the top line.
Not more, but I wouldn't be shocked if Hainsey gets a lot of ice time. Hainsey was getting 22 minutes of ice time.
Oh, he's gonna be a top 4 pairing because they're gonna put him with Gardner.
But they're gonna give him a lot of ice time, and, like, let's also not forget, like, JVR's no young guy anymore, and Bozak's been in this league for a while too.
Yeah, but there's a difference between, first of all, the difference in experience between Marlowe, Bozak, and JVR is substantial. Second of all, Marlowe, not only has he been in the NHL since '97, Marlowe's made the playoffs every year except for what, 2 years, 1 year maybe. Right? Like the Sharks.
Yeah, and he's made the finals once.
Okay, and that's fair, but he still has more playoff experience himself than the entire team combined. I don't even have to look that up. I know it's true, right? And he's been to the Stanley Cup Finals. Yes, he didn't win, and yes, he's only been there once.
And he also hasn't led the team far in many other cases, which you can argue.
I understand, but he's been there, right?
Is he the captain for the team next year?
No, I don't think they'll have a captain next year.
I don't know. If they're going to bring Marlowe for this big deal, I think they offer him.
It's not that big. No, I think they're gonna. I don't think they're gonna put the captaincy on anyone. I think they're gonna wait another season and then either put it on Riley or Matthews.
I think you gotta give it to Matthews. Again, like, the captaincy literally means nothing to the average fan.
Yeah.
But, like,
man, I just like the way that.
Again, I think this team is much better than it was last season.
Yeah.
And that's a good thing.
With Marlowe coming in, absolutely. They needed a winger to play with Matthews. We just talked about it. It was going to be Hyman. It was Hyman last year, right? Like, the difference, I attached a tweet yesterday.
Kadri's the only guy that signed after Marlowe's gone. Like, offensively.
I was about to say, you didn't look at the defense, man, because we got Riley, Zaitsev, and Gardner. Or, not Gardner.
Not Gardner.
But,
Ron Hainsey, man, how many guys get a cap or a price increase at, like, 35 years old after one playoff appearance?
Ron Hainsey, I don't know.
Like, that's a rare thing.
No, but what I was gonna say was I attached a tweet to my article yesterday that said the difference between, like, why it's such a big deal to bring Marlowe in and have him play on the Matthews line is that Zach Hyman had 28 points last year playing with Austin Matthews, which is, like, you got to think that increases your total, right?
Yeah.
Patrick Marlowe had 27 goals last season. And it's not like Marlowe was playing with bums, but still, he had one.
Well, he played with Thornton and Couturier at different points.
Yeah. Would you
Couture. I was thinking of Couturier. Sorry,
Couturier.
I'm thinking of too much of Team Canada's World Championship team.
Yeah.
Well, I want to talk about that instead.
No,
okay.
Absolutely not.
They lost.
Okay. No, what was I going to say? Yeah, he had one less goal than Hyman had points. Right? It's a big deal.
Hyman at a first line winger doesn't make sense to me, though.
No, I think
you want to put him as a third liner. That makes him better.
It was either. This is the weird thing with the Leafs. Before Marlowe got here, it was either first line or fourth line. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, okay, where you agree that Marlowe's going to play on the first line?
Oh,
right?
for sure.
Like, I think they go Marlowe, Matthews, and Nylander. That is nasty. And then the second line is, again, JVR, Bozak, and Marner, which was pretty decent last year. Then you got that spicy third line with
Kadri.
Komarov, Kadri, and Brown, and then fourth line.
If you say Matt Martin, just give up.
Well, you know they're going to put Matt Martin there.
Unfortunately, if I feel bad for you guys.
You know, he's not that bad. For an enforcer, he's not that bad.
Like, he's not that good.
Most enforcers aren't that good, right?
Like, you guys could have, like, the team could have brought Matt Liambus.
Who?
Liambus, the guy I was talking about earlier. His one-game play, I think
You and your Matt Liambus, man. Oh, my God. Okay, no, wait. Listen. The fourth line, they can go, like, in 3 different directions, okay? What I think they'll do, because Mike Babcock is obsessed with Zach Hyman. My brother always says that he's pretty sure Zach Hyman has pictures of Mike Babcock naked, right? Like, I mean, he was playing with Austin Matthews all last season. So you know he's going to be on the ice, right? And he loves Matt Martin too. They protected him in the expansion draft, right? There's almost no chance they're not going to be playing him. So I'm thinking it's going to be Matt Martin, Dominic Moore, and then the Zach Hyman, right? And that's a very solid fourth line.
And you're not going to give Brown a shot.
I said Brown's on the third line.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah. But what I would personally...
Josh Levo. What about him?
Can you chill?
Ben Smith.
Okay, not Ben Smith. Relax. Okay. What I would personally...
Dominic Moore.
Okay. Dominic Moore is the centerman. Okay. What I would personally do is Kasperi Kapanen, Dominic Moore, and Zach Hyman. I don't think they'll do that, though.
And if you get rid of Marlowe, you have the option of putting Kapanen in the roster.
Well, see, my lineup before they signed Marlowe was to have Kapanen on the first line instead of Hyman. It doesn't make... In any scenario, it does not make sense to have Hyman on the top line. Kapanen was as impressive as he possibly could have in the playoffs last year, playing on the fourth line, right? You can't picture a more impressive performance for a guy who's a rookie, barely played in the NHL, and is playing on the fourth line in a playoff series, right?
Yeah.
It doesn't get much better than that. But so here's the other thing, though. Like you said, you have Josh Levo. You have Kasperi Kapanen possibly missing time. Zach Hyman possibly missing time. Matt Martin, the god, possibly missing time. Are the Leafs done making moves, right? Because we're talking about who misses out on the lineup, right? I'm saying that it's probably going to be Kapanen and Levo. I would prefer it to be Martin and Levo, although I love Levo as well. Who do you think's going to be in the fourth line?
I'd personally put... I wouldn't dress Martin. I know that the team wants him, but I think, and I've said this for a while, I think you trade Kapanen. You'll get something from him. You'll build towards your defense.
Yeah, but that's what I was going to say next. Are the Leafs done making moves? Does the Marlowe signing open them up for more trades?
Kapanen to Vegas would have made a lot of sense. So I feel like they could have made a trade with Vegas by now.
Yeah?
For draft picks.
Well, okay.
If you go into Vegas, you're not trading for a defenseman. You're trading for draft picks.
Yeah.
If you trade it to somewhere else, you're going for a defenseman.
Exactly.
Who do you trade it for? Who's got an influx of defense? Nashville? Well, Nashville could use Kapanen.
Yeah.
And Kapanen knows Forsberg to an extent.
But wait. But remember, Kapanen's not the only player that's expendable in the Leafs right now. What about James Van Riemsdyk? Like you said, they have to worry about re-signing him next year.
The idea of Kapanen at a low cap hit with a lot of potential is pretty enticing.
Yes.
JVR, you got to sign him as a thing. Like, do you trade for him now, knowing he may not come back next year?
Well, I mean,
you have to pretty much say like we have to agree on a deal. Well,
Nashville is one of those teams that is kind of all in right now, right? They just made the Cup Finals. I wouldn't be surprised if they trade for a rental player, but why not do a sign and trade though, right?
Yeah, again, those you don't see that often anymore. That doesn't happen as much as you expect.
Yeah, you don't see the Leafs drafting well often, so things happen.
Well, they didn't have the strongest of drafts this year, but I think they also put themselves in position, and it was a weaker draft, so it's expected, I guess.
Yeah. I don't know. I just think they have, especially with the Marlowe signing, they have a surplus on offense. They need defenders. Like I said in the article yesterday, the scary thing is we say they need defenders, but their defensive core is not bad at all. They have Riley, Zaitsev, and Gardner. And Carrick.
That's a good top four for sure. You just need more to it, I think.
Yeah.
Like if you can move Carrick to a third pairing defense and get someone else to fill in that for it, I think looks better.
No, absolutely. Carrick, even if they go into the season right now, he's playing in the third pairing.
If they were to take a flyer and bring in Markov for another year, That's not a tour for a radio. That wouldn't be a horrible idea because
The
Markov instantly becomes your second pairing defenseman, a second pairing defenseman who could still get close to 50 points a year.
But wait, here's the only problem with Markov. Who does he fit with? Like, who do you pair him with? Because his style of play is too similar to guys like Gardner.
Yeah, but you pair him with Zaitsev. Zaitsev's a more defensive defenseman compared to the two. I feel like that would work because Markov's still a really good playmaker, and Markov gets the puck out. Let's not forget, Markov played pretty well with Shea Weber this year, and they're very similar defensemen, except Weber is just a more physical defenseman.
Right. No, I get that, and like especially because
Markov's still a good player. People keep saying, "Oh, these are going to fall out." Yeah, but that's been the saying now for almost 5 years.
Yeah.
Like, I don't believe it anymore. He's still skating really well. He grew out of those injuries. It's just what happened.
Yeah.
He's still a good player. Like, he was putting up 50 points. Like, this year he had an off year offensively, but I think it was just a difference because he when he played with Sheldon Surrey, for example, that was him setting up Surrey scoring all the goals. But it's kind of like he and Weber were both playmakers. So it kind of just was a weird mix. And then when he wasn't playing with Weber, he was playing with Bellio, who just did not turn out to be the guy Montreal was hoping for. And I still think Montreal could still sign him because he had to Markov's agent said he had to reevaluate. Or, well, actually, not Markov's agent because Markov doesn't have an agent. But Markov said himself he's like reevaluating his options and thinking, because he had no callers. No one wanted him. The team that apparently showed up yesterday and interested in him was Philadelphia. Well, that's why one Habs fan would want that to happen. And no matter how much Markov was loved, there was no way Habs fans would be happy with that.
No, absolutely not. I don't. It's interesting. Obviously, I'm clearly on board with the Leafs signing some old guys to help them right now because they have.
That's what they were missing last year.
Yeah. Well, that's why I like the Marleau side. I know you don't like the third year. I get that.
That's my biggest issue.
Yeah.
And again, if they get rid of it, it's a totally different story.
And they will get rid of it.
And that's what I'm hoping they do. Like if they do, then I think it's an absolutely incredible signing. Because let's not forget, I'm pretty sure that was one of the best signings and makes the Leafs a better team. He is declining. That is for sure.
Yeah.
But
he's still
a good
producing.
Player.
Yeah, exactly.
He's still better than most of the team.
Well. Yeah, that's what, they're in a position right now where they're just really young and really talented, but they have the cap space to sign guys like Marleau right now because all their guys are on rookie contracts. That's not always going to be the case. Look at the Blackhawks right now, right?
Well, that's the thing. The Leafs, with the problem when you get so much young talent that are good, and unlike Pittsburgh, they got a good talent, but some of their better playoff performers are guys on minimum deals. Mm-hmm. Even Matt Cullen was playing really good. When you look at that, it's okay, well then the team. You got to be careful. Mm-hmm. And that's why, Kapanen will probably ask for a bit of money. He won't ask for as much. I wouldn't be shocked if he asked for $3.54 million, depending on how he plays this year.
Yeah.
If that's the case, then you got an issue. You got to trade someone. And that's the thing. You want to keep the core as much together as possible.
Yeah.
And that's going to be tough. But, luckily, it's a lot easier to do that now than it was when the Blackhawks did because the salary cap's bigger.
Yeah.
But players will keep demanding pretty big salaries, and guys who'd be getting $3 million before are asking for $5 million.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I don't know. I just think they have a lot of pieces right now to trade. If they want to go all in for right now, they have to be considered one of the best teams in the East right now.
Oh, they're miles ahead of, I think, in terms of at least the next couple of years over Montreal. Yeah. Montreal may still come ahead of them just because of their pure talent, but Montreal doesn't have any young guys to really look forward to right now. That's kind of concerning. When you trade Sergachev, I don't think Sergachev was the guy that Montreal needed, but the Blue Jays just wanted.
Nice.
That's the thing. Montreal didn't have the strongest of drafts, and when you look at it that way, it's Montreal will need to get some young guys, and trading Bellio wasn't probably the best idea, and getting Carl Walsner for sure was not the answer.
Oh, we'll talk about that later. Don't you worry. But yeah, I don't know. I think they're good enough right now to compete. I mean, they gave Washington a ride in the playoffs last year, and Washington was historically good in the regular season. So I think they're ready to compete right now, and they won't win the cup this year, but if they have the pieces to trade for guys who can make that a even bigger possibility, right? I don't think either way they're winning the cup this year. I think they're another year away. So I think 2 years from now they'll be Stanley Cup champions. But
that's a big statement there. I would say contender would be a better word to use than champions.
I will bet you right now. I will bet you. I don't want to bet money. I don't have money.
And apple juice.
Apple.
I'll accept that.
Okay, I will bet you an apple juice. But if I win, you gotta give me Fruitopia because I don't want Fruitopia. that the Leafs will win the Cup in 2 years. All right, and we will
Dale,
remember.
this is recorded. You can reference this later.
Yes, and we just shook. Okay, so it's published. It's out there. Well, it will be published, and if the Leafs don't win the Stanley Cup in 2 years, I owe you an apple juice.
Yeah, man. Pay up. Freshco's got it for 97 cents. For a liter.
Hey, there you go. That's not bad. Anyway, but no, I don't know. I think if you could package together like a draft pick or two, JVR, maybe Josh Levo, you can get a solid defenseman. No.
Again, you got to worry about the contracts.
Well, I mean, Josh Levo's on his rookie contract, so.
Like getting Shattenkirk at the price he went for would have been a good deal, but
I think
the only reason he took that deal is because he went to.
You're talking about. I thought you were talking about the trade last year, like when he got traded to Washington.
No.
Oh yeah, we'll talk about Shattenkirk's deal later. It's a great.
The Leafs, I think, probably were in it for sure.
To sign Shattenkirk, you think? I mean, he only signed for like slightly more than Marlowe. Obviously, well, only with like.
Yeah, but the difference is Shattenkirk's still the best defenseman in the league.
What?
Yeah.
The best defenseman in the league?
I know, one of the best.
Oh, I thought you said...
No, he's like in the top 5 for sure. Least of offensive defenseman for sure.
Yeah, no, that's fine. No, I wasn't... That's what I was trying to say, is that he only went for slightly more than Marlowe, so they definitely could have
and he deserves at least a Norris Trophy and the league MVP and the best goalie award this year.
But what? Anyway, before we shine up Shattenkirk's nuts a little too much... Like, what defenseman out there do you think is realistic for the Leafs to trade for that would make a huge impact right now? Nothing?
I don't know. Like, it's a tough one. Like, that's the issue. Like, no matter what, with the Leafs, they're going to have to give up good prospects. Because I think when a team knows that they're going to be trading something to a Leafs, like what the Leafs need, they're going to end up trading... They're going to be asking for some big prospects, and the guy like again, Kapanen and Levo, I think are both expendable. As long as you don't get rid of your core 3 guys, I think you're fine.
Yeah. Yep, I think if you make the trade, that's 2 less guys that you'll have to re-sign in the future.
Oh, let's not forget, Freddie Anderson is also trade bait eventually too. If they get someone up in the system, that's a problem. They don't have anyone right now.
Well, I mean, it's if watching the Leafs over the years has taught me one thing, it's that. Finding a good goalie is not easy.
but again, like,
so I would not say Freddie is.
If they had a guy who
expendable.
Comes through and when was the last goalie they drafted that was like really good? If you say Reimer, I'm not believing you.
I'm not. No, God, I was not going to say Reimer. You know how I feel about Reimer.
Yes,
one of those guys. The city will. They'll bury Matt Sundin, but they'll praise James Reimer.
Yeah, right. Because Reimer took them to a playoff.
Yeah, well, carry them. But they'll carry Ryan Goins on the streets, have a parade for him, but they'll bury Jose Bautista. That's what this city's all about.
That's true.
But yeah, no, I cannot remember the last goalie that they drafted. That was Justin Pogge.
No, like the best goalie they've drafted in the last 20 years has to be Tuukka Rask.
Shit.
And how many games did he play for the team? Like
0.
Exactly. So
yeah,
that's.
Well, wait, they traded him for Andrew Raycroft, and that worked out big time.
In my game, Eastside Hockey Manager, the one where you're GM, the Leafs just signed Justin Pogge, and I just laughed so hard.
Justin Pogge.
I traded Francois Beauchemin and Drew McGinley in Colorado. I traded them for like 7 draft picks, and everyone was so mad with me. It's like, guys, these guys are like making like $5 and $6 million to be 35 plus. Let's get them out of this team.
Francois Beauchemin and okay.
Yeah, Francois Beauchemin.
When did this game come out?
It's Eastside Hockey Manager. It's like the game came out a couple years ago. It's like the best hockey game ever. It's so fun. You can like control like any team. I want to sign guys from the Oakville Blades.
Of course, everything goes back to Oakville. Like, I swear to God, it's a vicious cycle. Every conversation goes.
Too bad you're from a city that doesn't have a good hockey team.
I mean, what do you mean? Cullen's not bad.
What's their team called again? The Golden Hawks or whatever.
Yeah, Golden.
Yeah, they suck. They're like Junior B or something. Like they're not great.
They used to just be the Hawks.
Well, then then they stole the Trenton Golden Hawks name. Wow.
What?
Trenton Golden Hawks. They're
we're off topic again.
OJHL champions.
We're talking about the Trenton Golden Hawks. Who?
Actually, they didn't win the champions. Give them a second.
Anyway.
How do you know who they are?
What?
How do you know who the Trenton Golden Hawks are?
Enough.
They're Ontario's best junior A team. 2 years in a row.
Sure. Anyway, with the Leafs, I think they have the package there. If they want to pursue it, I don't know who's available. At the same time, I wouldn't have said PK Subban or Shea Weber were available last year. So there's always someone available, right? Do you agree with that?
Yes.
So it's hard to predict.
Yeah, and no one expected that to happen.
Yeah.
At all. Who would did anyone pick Weber's name in trade talks at all?
No. There's no way. He was Nashville for years.
He was the face of the franchise. Fear the beard was their playoff slogan.
Yeah.
And it wasn't because everyone else's beard. It was because his.
Yeah, that city embraced the city embraced him.
When you look at the most important players to hockey in Nashville, it's hard to argue in the top three. Pekka Rinne in third, Weber in second, Mike Fisher first.
I would have said Weber first.
The only reason Weber was important to the already hockey fans.
Mm-hmm.
Fisher brought in a lot of fans.
That's true.
Because of Carey Underwood.
Yeah, the Carey Underwood thing was pretty big. Oh, by the way, we're pretty much done talking about the Leafs, but where's Mike Fisher going? Is he going to re-sign with the Preds or what? He better be.
I think he'll go back to the Preds.
I hope so.
He's not. The one guy who's pretty much given up on hockey is Mike Ribeiro, but I don't really know. But Mike Fisher, I don't know. That's a guy that's I can't imagine there's been a lot of people calling for him, and if after this year, I think he sticks with Nashville.
Yeah,
and I think he'll live in Nashville when his career's over too.
Yeah, exactly. It's Carey Underwood's from Nashville. So.
Yeah, and you also don't want to live in Ottawa. So.
Yeah, exactly. But no, I don't know. Mike Fisher is one of those guys that I've always just. It's impossible not to like Mike Fisher.
Oh, for sure.
So I really hope they bring him back. Let him retire in Nashville. I can't see him signing for much.
No.
And I'd love it if they can push for if they have another cup run, for him to be there for it, right?
Yeah,
so
and Nashville probably will come short next year, but again, I think he should be a part of it, and he should stick around with the team.
Exactly.
As long as he can. Take a discount. You don't need the money.
Well, he'll have to take a discount.
Yeah, you don't need the money. You know what? Your career's totally winding down. You were never that fantastic of a player. Make an impact, or stick with the team, and if they need to move you at some point, accept it. If they need to say, thank you, then that's it. I'm curious how much the fact that he hasn't signed a deal, if it has to actually do with him or if it has to do with the Preds.
Yeah, I have no idea.
Because why would he want to leave the team?
But I have no idea. I haven't heard much about it. Maybe he's asking for more money. Maybe you never know what's going through a guy's head, right? He could be thinking about retirement for all we know, right?
And again,
there's been no word on him.
He accomplished a playoff run with two teams. Mm-hmm. Came short in both.
Yeah.
Odds of Nashville win the Cup next year? That's, maybe go for one more chance at the Cup.
Yeah. Well, I would just hate it if they went on another big run and he wasn't there. That would just... it was almost like last year, as much as the Nashville playoff run was so entertaining, I just kept thinking, oh, man, Weber was there last year. He missed out on it by 1 year. I was happy for PK.
That sucks.
Yeah, it's brutal.
I can tell you that would definitely suck. So,
because Weber's one of those guys who needs to win a cup before he retires. It's a crime that he has. Well, I mean, there's Sundin never won a cup, so
yeah, Sundin never won a cup, and again, Justin Pogge never won a cup, and
yeah, that's right, Pogge never won a. If Justin Pogge comes up one more time on this podcast, I'm canceling it.
It'll be the most time someone's talking about Justin Pogge that wasn't on the Steve Dangle podcast.
Wait, what?
I'm assuming they probably talk about Pogge.
Oh yeah. Wait, is Pogge or Toskala the one who ended up playing as a winger in
Toskala
Russia?
Played Hong Kong.
Hong Kong.
Yeah.
That's the Toskala played winger in Hong Kong. Was he good?
No.
I would just imagine he'd be the best player on the ice in Hong Kong.
Was it Hong Kong or I'm pretty sure it was Hong Kong, but it was him and Johnny Oduya played together.
That's so friggin' weird. This took a really weird turn. Talking about best of Toskala playing in Hong Kong.
For a few minutes ago, we were talking about the best goalies the Leafs have had, and talking about Toskala and Pogge.
Yeah, again, if Pogge comes back up on this podcast, I'm shutting it down, and I'll
find a way.
Apply for some kind of job in marketing or something. Anyway, let's move on to one thing I want to talk about. Nail Yakupov. What in the what happened? What Nail Yakupov? I hate saying his name. I want to say Neil. Nail Yakupov was a first overall pick Not that long, like 5 years ago.
Yeah, in a weak draft.
Okay, it doesn't matter how weak the draft was.
The best player in that draft right now, Galchenyuk. Yakupov, fourth best player offensively in that draft. That's how weak that draft was.
That's a terrible draft.
That was a horrible draft.
Still, the first overall pick in a draft.
The 2008 draft, I was looking this up because the Detroit just brought back Thomas McCollum.
Mm-hmm.
One guy on that team has two players out of the 7 players that the Red Wings draft that year have actually played, and one of them was McCollum, and he played only 3 games. The rest never signed.
It's impressive.
I'll talk about a bad draft.
Yeah. But, no, Yakupov went first overall. His rookie season, he tied Huberdeau for most goals as a rookie.
Most points.
Was it goals or points?
I thought it was points.
Oh, but I think he led rookies with goals.
Okay, maybe he did.
Yeah, because he had like 17 goals.
Yeah, Yakupov, fourth best offensive, but that was also a really strong defensive draft. The fact about Morgan Riley, Hampus Lindholm, Jacob Trouba, Shane Gottsberger, Matt Dumba,
Tom Wilson,
Colton Parenko, Oli Mata. Yeah. Not the strongest draft.
So wait, is Riley the best player in the draft, or is it
best offensive, or best most?
No,
offensive,
best player. Who's
best player? Oh, that's Galchenyuk.
So
I don't even even start with that.
Sure, yeah, whatever you say. But yeah, no, he still he had a good rookie season, first overall pick. Like, what happened in his career? Do you
Yakupov? He was brought in way too quickly. That's no question about it. Brought up too quickly, and he was in a situation like, well, we don't really have a good role for you. We're going to put you in the bottom 6. And the problem is, he's a goal scorer.
Yeah,
do you remember the name Robbie Shrimp?
Yes.
Yes, he was a good player.
Yeah.
Alex Frolov, same thing in LA. Another example was Nikita Filatov on Columbus. Okay. All 3 of those guys were tremendous goal scorers, could dazzle with the puck. You put them in a bottom 6 position, and they don't know what to do.
Well, it makes sense that he doesn't belong there, right?
Yeah, that's the thing. They rushed him too long, and they've given him a terrible role. He never really got to develop into a top-end NHL scorer because of that. And then he became a healthy stretch, and he signed a Colorado 1-year deal. I'm not shocked if he'll go to the KHL very shortly.
That's insane. I should have mentioned that. That's the reason what we're talking about is that he signed a 1-year deal with Colorado for $800K.
Quite an interesting story. Of those 4 players, 3 of them were Russian.
Oh, that is interesting.
And one of them is Robbie Shrimp.
Huh. But yeah, no, he got traded. Last season at the beginning of last season.
Yeah.
To St. Louis.
Another thing about Robbie Shrimp is he's actually friends with Oakville Steve Nathan.
Okay, no more Oakville. That's the new rule. You can't bring up Oakville for the rest of the podcast. But yeah, no, he gets traded to St. Louis, plays 1 season there.
40 games.
40 games, sorry. 40 games in the NHL. And how many points did he get in the NHL in 40 games last season?
9.
9 points. 3 goals and 6 assists.
I like your note for him. Read stats. And you don't even have the stats.
I don't even have the stats. That's 3 goals and 6 assists kind of just sticks in your brain a bit, right? First overall pick. I get what you're saying. It's just it baffles me. So you don't think he's long for the NHL? He
should not have been in the NHL's first year.
Right.
And when they should have put him in the NHL when he's ready for a top 6 position. They didn't. He didn't. He was good in one of the weakest rookie classes. Tied for first in points and was 31 points. Yeah, to be fair, it was a short season.
I mean, Austin Matthews had 40 goals this year.
Yeah, but also 48 games compared to...
Yeah, that's true.
Slight difference.
Yeah.
But you look at that, it's like, he didn't have the greatest... He had an okay start. His second year did nothing.
Yeah.
He progressively got worse.
Let me read the stats, just so you guys understand just how bad this was. Rookie season, 17 goals, 14 assists, 31 total points in 48 games. Okay? His next season, 63 games, he got 11 goals, 13 assists, 24 total points. So he saw a decent decrease in goals and a slight decrease in assists, but he played almost 20 more games.
Yeah.
Then 81 games, 14 goals, 19 assists, 33 points. Still only 2 more points than his rookie season, and he played double the amount of games. Almost. Then 60 games, 8 goals, 15 assists, 23 points. And then this past season, 40 games, 3 goals, 6 assists.
Yeah.
9
So
points.
when you look at that same year, Toronto drafted Morgan Riley, as you know, and they drafted Connor Brown.
Yeah.
Pretty good draft for them, but those were not a couple good years for draft-wise. Like 2013, they got Anton Bibeau, who played 2 games with the team, and then they drafted Frederic Gauthier in terms of guys that have
Ready to go.
And Gauthier he's got 28 games played, and how many points? What, like 4?
Yo, Ready to go is a different
The
kind
year
of goat.
before
he brings a different kind of
The
value.
year before that, their first pick, Tyler Biggs, never played. Their second pick, Oakville Stuart Fiercy. He's from Oakville. The third pick, Josh Levo. The next 2 picks, never played. Actually, I've never heard of them. David
You've
Brule,
never heard of them. I mean, if you've never heard of them, they don't
Tony
exist.
Cameron Resi played high school hockey.
All right.
And then they picked Dennis Robertson, who just signed something. I can't remember. David Brohl, who played 5 games. And then Garrett Sparks.
Mm-hmm.
When did David Brohl play for the Leafs?
Wait, what?
When did he play for the Leafs? He played 2013, 20. Oh yeah, that's when they brought like anybody who wanted to play for the team.
Sorry, I heard another name that kind of stuck out. Did you say Garrett Sparks?
Yeah.
You have a relationship with Garrett Sparks, no?
I don't recall.
I'm pretty sure you and Garrett Sparks have interacted before.
We're good friends. Yeah, we're
Fine friends.
Like, do you want me to tell a story?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. Well, if you guys remember, Garrett Sparks got suspended from the NHL because he made some comments where he was going to take a guy out to center ice and beat them up like a little girl.
He made that comment on Facebook. Yeah.
I posted that tweet. Leafs found about it and suspended him.
Yeah, basically, I was in the I was in the cafeteria eating dinner before my class.
And I was dealing with some guy named Marcus Stroman. I was taking photos of him.
Oh yeah, that's right. I had to miss that because of the stupid class. But yeah, Steven calls me up and he's like, "Hey, I just got Garrett Sparks suspended." I'm like, "What?" First of all, how do you start a conversation with, "Hey, I got like Toronto Maple Leafs prospect Garrett Sparks suspended"? But anyway, so basically, he just he found that he saw that Facebook comment that hadn't caught on yet. He tweeted a screenshot of it. Next thing you know, Garrett Sparks is
suspended from the NHL.
Yeah.
Well, that's a long story short. Anyways, back to when I was asking David Brohl, like, when the heck did he even play? So he played in a time where the Leafs, their goalies were James Reimer, Jonathan Bernier, and Drew McIntyre. And
Drew McIntyre.
Fraser McLaren, Jared Smithson, John Michael Lyles, Jamie Devane, Greg McKegg, Spencer Abbott, Peter Granberg, Mark Fraser, David Brohl, Carter Ashton, Jerry D'Amigo, Tom Gleason, Trevor Smith, Troy Brody, Jay McClement, and Peter Holland are all on the team. And believe it or not, Josh Levo played 7 games that year.
Wow. Wasn't Drew McIntyre a wrestler?
There's a wrestler named Drew McIntyre, but no, he used to be.
I'm surprised you know that.
No, I searched his name up enough.
Oh, that makes sense.
But Josh Levo, I didn't realize that. Yeah, he played 2013, 2014. He's been he's been in the NHL for 4 years now and only played 41 games. 18 points though, so not too bad.
He was impressive. Last year,
10 points in 13 games.
Yeah, exactly. Like he barely played, but I was
like
impressed.
for 41 games and 18 points. To put that in perspective, a guy who's playing bottom 2 lines to have almost 50% points per game is pretty good.
Well, that's what I'm saying. That they have like 3 guys that need to be playing that won't be playing this year.
Yeah, and then I think Levo's like time in the NHL is running out.
Yeah.
He was 20 in 2013, 2014.
Yeah. They need to. I think they need to either trade him or make room for him. Well, I mean, not make room for him, but you know what I mean. Like trade for defenseman.
Trade Marner.
He has no what? Anyway.
Why not?
But yeah, anyway, the Yakupov thing just blows my mind. I don't know.
Just never caught on. It sucks because you know what? It looked like St. Louis is like here. I like the idea of a guy that struggles. You have put him on a new team, and they have a chance to kind of redo their career. Did not work at St. Louis.
Is oh, bless you, Jesus. Is signing a 1-year low-end contract with the Colorado Avalanche rock bottom in the NHL?
Well, put it this way, he'll get the ice time opportunities.
Yeah, he will get the ice time. He won't win any games, but he'll get the ice time. Are they trading Duchesne? Is he going to get traded? Like, I don't understand.
It's a mistake if he does.
You think it's a mistake if they do?
When they rebuild the team in a year or two, they need him there.
I think he'll be 40 by the time they're rebuilt. Actually, I said the same thing about the Leafs a few years ago.
Like, who do you trade, Duchesne or McKinnon?
Duchesne.
McKinnon could bring in more.
Yeah. Okay. Well, then that's a different story. Like I thought you were saying like who do you keep, or sorry, like who do you trade like so you keep the other one? Like I would.
If you got equal value for both, who would you trade?
If you can get equal value for both, I would trade Duchesne probably, probably. Maybe I don't know, man. They're both like. I don't understand how that team's not better. Well, I mean, I guess I understand why that team's not better. But still, they have like 3 really good young players.
Yeah.
Like that's a solid core to build around. How do you not? What are they doing in that front office? What is Colorado right now?
Like their goalie is Varlamov, who is a good goalie. Put it this way: do they have NHL quality defense? The answer is no. They do not have NHL quality defense.
I mean, I don't know. But like, you think they would have? I don't. How? That's another.
I'm also curious if Yakupov decided he wanted to go to Colorado and play on a team that's going to suffer, or like, did he not have any KHL offers that he could have made more money with and gotten a better chance?
Well, maybe he's trying to just make it work in the NHL.
But it's kind of like, here's the thing: in NASCAR, there are drivers who are good young guys, and they will take terrible rides just to be in NASCAR, and then they'll never get to prove themselves because they're running 37th every place instead of racing a division lower and competing for wins each week. Well, that's better.
Wait. But the argument, because you said he's going to be making, or he's going to be getting a lot of ice time, right? Which makes sense because they suck.
You'd hope so.
I mean, if he's not, then he's never going to make it.
Yeah.
Okay?
So this is his like last chance. Exactly. And he's like 23 or 24. Like.
He is 23. That sucks. But what I'm saying is he's going to get all this ice time on a bad team. Someone has to score on Colorado. Like, it's not like they never score. Someone has to score goals. I mean, if he's ever going to prove himself, it's going to be on a shitty team like Colorado. Like, let's say he scores 20...
He has to. He literally pretty much has no choice.
Yeah, this is like I said, it's rock bottom.
Like you could say it's a low-risk move for Colorado, but man, it's like, you got to do something.
Yeah. You
got to do something.
Well, no, yeah, for Colorado, it's nothing. They just threw $800,000, which in the NHL is peanuts, at a player who used to be a first-round pick. Like, it's... I actually like this signing on Colorado's part because at least it has some sort of upside. I doubt it'll do anything, but if nothing works out, it's only $800,000 for 1 year, right? But there's at least some kind of upside. For him, yeah, this is make it or break it, man.
Yeah, and like I hope that pressure kind of kicks it in for him now.
I hope it doesn't do the opposite.
Like, when he was on his entry-level deal, it wasn't as big of a concern. It's like, well, you know what, you still got a lot of time. But now he doesn't.
Well, at the same time, when you're a rookie and you get put up in the big leagues right away, that is a lot of pressure.
Well, it's a lot of pressure for a guy who, wasn't dominant in the AHL, or OHL. For only full season he had, he got close to 100 points, I believe, and then he got 69 points in his last year. So, nice stats, I guess, but
yeah, no.
But nothing that's blown anybody away. In terms of what you'll see out of guys like David Strome and even what's that guy that Chicago has? Uriaders, the Birdcat. Even those numbers, it's not as impressive.
Yeah.
Different years, of course, but in the AHL, it's actually or OHL, sorry, it's a lifetime difference from the 2012 OHL season to the 2017. Well, there's no players that are playing.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I don't know. It's interesting. I don't know what Colorado's doing, though. Speaking of head offices not doing what they're doing, let's talk about Montreal.
Yeah.
You specifically wanted to talk about it, so let's talk about it.
So, Radulov said, after signing with Dallas, that Montreal offered him the exact same contract, and he would have accepted it. But the problem was, they offered it after he accepted the Dallas one. What the heck are you doing, Montreal, letting him go away? And you know what? Markov, I know he's expensive. And going out and saying, we don't want you, Markov, but we're going to sign Carl Alzner instead. Facepalm. Slam your head on a desk. Where's the logic? Because Markov, the thing is, if Alzner's deal, he's I don't know, how many years is it again? I got so mad when I saw it. I didn't want to. I think it's 5 years.
For who's
Alzner's?
Yes, 5 years.
5 years. So it's a 5-year deal, and it's cheaper than what Markov would want for the next 2 years, which means they have a chance to go and get more forwards that they need because they desperately need scoring with the fact that they scored 3 or 4 games in the games that they lost in the world or in the in the playoffs. So they weren't scoring at all.
No.
And you know what? Carey Price's contract, Montreal needed him for 8
Well,
years,
if
but
only-
that doesn't explain, that doesn't help out who scores. Believe it or not, Carey Price has never scored for the Canadians.
Wow.
Cam Ward has scored.
It's almost like they could really use their captain to be like a goal scoring kind of guy. If only they had a guy like that in the playoffs, that would have really worked out, I think.
Well, if Facioretti knew what and the net was, I think he probably would have gotten a few goals. But the problem was Radulov was your best player in the playoffs, and he's gone.
Speaking of Patrick, I want to bring up a argument that we had before. Are you okay?
Fully energized. I'm ready to talk about this.
Oh man, this is too much. Okay, we were discussing before we started recording. Steven has a theory about who the best. Would you say the second best winger?
Left winger.
No, you at first.
No, that was a mistake. I meant to say left winger. You
made a mistake. He said the second best winger in the NHL is Max Pacioretty, just behind Alex Ovechkin.
He's
Because
probably
apparently
top 5.
Patrick Kane doesn't exist.
That's not what I meant to say. Okay.
All right, it's fine. There's not that many good left wingers though. Name the top 5 left wingers in the NHL right now.
Ovechkin,
No,
Pacioretty.
you know what I mean. Like Ovechkin.
Pacioretty.
Okay. There's not that many good left wingers.
The right wingers are way better. I know I'm probably obviously missing something.
It's not the most impressive.
Rangers are going to sign David Desharnais.
Oh.
Former Hub. Just thought it was relevant.
Interesting. But yeah, it's not the most impressive position to be considered the.
But hey, well, if you're one of the best in your position in the NHL, it's still pretty good.
No, obviously, I'm just saying.
He's led the team in scoring 6 years in a row.
All right, whatever. I'm done talking about Pacioretty. Let's talk more about the Habs losing people.
Bring up the cap. I'm curious how much is the cap room they have.
Yep. But where do you what direction is?
I'm confused. I don't know. It's I don't know if the team knows either. Do you remember how terrible their trade deadline was? Just getting all these when they could have really pushed for somebody, they went out and just signed all these fourth-liners or trade for these fourth-liners. They literally focused. They focused on signing guys for the AHL this year. Peter Holland. I don't know if he's going to make the team next year.
All Peter Holland signing with Montreal did was make sure that the Leafs don't get a 6th-round pick from Arizona.
And Alashemsky, 1 year deal, $1 million for a guy who didn't play at all last year. Played very few games. Yeah. The Olsner deal, not a fan. Not a fan at all. But they still have to deal with Galchenyuk, so they still need the money for that. Which,
hey, you know what though? They have Andrew Shaw locked up for another 4 years.
So
that's 4 years. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years. So that's like a cup winning.
At a more expensive deal than Gallagher. How does that work?
Andrew Shaw. That was
much more expensive than Paul Byron.
I hate that signing, man. Andrew Shaw. I don't know what value
they have $14 million cap space, so you got to think that they're going to put in $6 million.
Yeah, $14 million.
Yeah, so you got to think they're going to put somewhere around $6 million for Galchenyuk.
Yeah,
they could still have signed Radulov, and they could easily sign Markov.
Well, I saw.
Look, think about this. You know what? If you make your defense, Weber, Petrie, as your top pair for sure. You put Olsner and Markov. Actually, no, maybe let's do it. Weber, Markov, Petrie, Olsner, Shemenko, and Ben. That's a really good defensive group.
Yeah.
Very good defensive group. Brandon Davidson being your 7th defenseman. I like that. Joe Morrow, I'm not exactly sure what the heck that signing was for, but I guess you just got more depth.
Yeah.
But
it's $650K. It's nothing.
Well, what was the point of signing Peter Holland?
To take away a 6th-round pick from Toronto, I think. I don't know.
Oh, but most of that doesn't matter in general.
No, I'm just joking. Obviously.
And then Andreas Martinson. Why sign him? He's the slowest skater in the NHL. It brings no offensive contributions to the team. He's just big.
Is he actually the slowest?
Top 5 for sure. So
they should have that competition.
The one thing we mentioned on the podcast, the 5-hour podcast and trade deadline day was when he was traded from Colorado to Montreal, he was the worst puck possession forward on the Avalanche.
Yeah, I know you were going
on the worst puck possession team in the league. There was no reason that signing made any sense. And
I like it.
So why keep him? I don't know. It just, you know what? Put like
He plays the Montreal way. I think that's what it is. He just
well, Montreal's never been a big sized team, so I'm not really sure if that's the case.
Do you remember when they? Sorry, this is way off topic, but do you remember that year when they went to the conference finals against Philadelphia? I think it was 2010 when Chicago won the cup.
Mm-hmm.
And I think their average height was like 5'3", and it was
5'3",
and that was brought up by Hal Gill being on the team. Like he brought that up like 4 inches.
6 foot trillion. But did you know Nashville signed 2 goalies, Matt O'Connor, and they brought back Anders Lindback, and they're both 6'6". And they're starting goalie 6'7".
All right, so they got some height.
Yeah, again, it's just funny that that's what Nashville does. I love their really tall goalies. Jonathan Drouin makes the team better. And I think Drouin has the potential to be much better than Radulov. He gets 53 points this year, which is just like, I think, 1 point less than Radulov, but he's also 22.
I totally forgot about Jonathan Drouin.
So your top line being...
I like that.
Drouin, you put your second line. So you most likely will have Galchenyuk, Pacioretty. Who's the winger on the right side? Paul Byron. Unfortunately.
Wait, sorry. Your top line is who, sorry?
You do it...
Galchenyuk, you said?
Galchenyuk as your centerman. Even though he's not much of a centerman, you could put him there. That's the thing. The team still needs a centerman, for sure.
Yeah, like, I'm looking right now.
You put Galchenyuk, you put Pacioretty, and you put Byron as the right winger. Then you go with... You got to hope Lukanich turns it around actually as a good season. You put him on the second line center.
They just got to loosen up that turtleneck. Huh?
With Drouin and go with Hemsky.
Yeah,
you put Gallagher on the third line right wing. You put Shaw on the left wing. And center, you go with Philip Deneau. And then you kind of just switch out between Holland and Martinson.
Man, it sucks not being stacked on offense, eh?
It's a little concerning. It's a little concerning.
They don't have many true centers.
No, that's the thing. That's what confused.
That
when the team's like, we need to address our centers, and they go and get Peter Holland. Like,
hey man, Peter Holland. You know what? You underestimate him. He was a solid fourth line centerman for like 2 days for the Leafs, like 3 years ago.
He was the first guy I ever talked to in the NHL. Huh. Because he had traded the day that I covered the Leafs and Sabres.
First guy. Wait, are you talking about like strictly interviewing wise, or actually spoke to? Okay. I don't think I've interviewed an NHL player. I've spoken to a few.
I also talked to JVR, who answered all of Kessel's questions. Not his own. Well, he didn't answer his own. But
yes. That was a big deal, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. That just as a Dolphins fan, that just reminds me of who was it? Brandon Gibson answering questions for Mike Wallace, and the season ended.
Mike Wallace, you mean the former NASCAR driver?
No, I mean like the wide receiver that currently plays for the Baltimore Ravens.
No one cares.
I mean, he was at one point the richest receiver in the NFL, which was, again, way off topic. But I don't know. I think Peter Holland should be on the top line for Montreal.
Peter Holland with Andreas Martinson and Arturi Lehkonen.
Yeah. I honestly, I forgot about the Jonathan Drouin move. I think that's actually a really nice move. Man, he is 22 years old. $5.5 million, though. I don't know, that's a lot of upside in that trade.
They got some good left wingers, that's for sure. Pacioretty, Drouin, Lehkonen's good.
But they need a center.
You can put Byron on there. They need a center. Yep.
Yeah, they really need a center.
Like Jeff Petrie could play center.
What?
Probably not. I don't know, but like he may have skill to play center.
Just bring back Markov and have him play center.
Who are the?
Well, if Pacioretty's the god that you act like he is, he can play center.
Well, so there's also a chance that they may bring up Jacob Jabarek on D, who's a decent guy, like 1 year entry-level deal, which is just kind of a weird saying. Noel Juleson won't make the team right away, that's for sure. Nikita Sherbak makes the team better, right? Like if he doesn't make it, but then that's the problem. Their center prospects are really weak. Like Michael McCarron, he probably won't be signed when his contract's over. Martin Riwe, I'm pretty sure he's already a bust. Daniel Audette, no, he won't make the team.
Yeah, I've never heard any of these guys.
Byron from Leaf.
I don't even.
Brian Frazee, he was like an actual decent AHLer last year. He's good for the AHL, but then that's about it. That's the sad thing about that team is they got like nothing.
They have a lot of cap space, but there's no one out there for them to sign.
But they also haven't bought out anybody because Gomez's contract's gone.
Yeah, there's with all that cap space. the thing that sucks for them right now is that there is no one for them to pursue in free agency, right? Like if there was a good center,
Well, they missed it now.
But who was there in general to sign at center?
Well, I guess the other thing is you got to look at who's going to be free agent next year. And they won't bring back Hemsky. Torrey Mitchell's probably going to be gone. Pukanic is gone for sure, unless he signed like $1 million deal or $2 million deal. Martinson, I can't see them bringing him back. So they'll have even more cap space.
Yeah, if there's a good centerman out there, they're the best bet to go after him. But the big thing is, in positive news for Montreal, is that with the extension with Carey Price, what was it, 8 years?
Yep.
You have 8 years of being competitive. I don't care how bad your team is, and they're not a bad team. They have holes, but they're not a bad team.
Yeah.
But with Carey Price and goalie or like in that, you always have a chance to be a contender, and you always have a chance to make the playoffs. And once you're in there, anything could happen. Like magical playoff runs happen because of good goalies.
Yeah.
Right.
And see, for next
Unless
year,
you're the Flyers.
Next year, with the assumption that like they do have to worry still about Galchenyuk, they're going to have very similar cap space. Like they have $21 million cap space.
Yeah.
And it doesn't actually increase a whole lot when you look at the fact that they'd lose in terms of their overall roster.
Yeah.
They would lose 7 players, and that would only give them an extra $7 million.
Yeah.
So
I don't know. I just think that like the more I think about this, the better position I think they actually are in though, because like they got.
the problem is the team is like it was close. The last couple of years they've been close. Last year, if it wasn't for Price going down, they may have done well.
Yeah.
But
they were in first place when he went down, no?
Yeah, and they were on one of the best starts ever.
Yeah.
But the issue is they need to they need to get a number one centerman.
Yeah.
I think they've addressed the defense mostly. It's their centerman that's just wow. If Galchenyuk, if you put him on the wing, or if you have Galchenyuk as a second line center, you got someone who's good, or if you get a decent enough second line center, that team becomes so much better. I mean, a guy like Joe Thornton would have done wonders for this team.
Yeah, that would have been a nice short-term.
And they could afford him too.
Yeah, absolutely. With all that cap space, I mean, again, the more I look at this, the more I think they're maybe not that great this year. But again, you always have a chance to slip into the playoffs with Carey Price, and then next year with all that money, like they're big buyers.
If Pacioretty, here's the way I look at it: if Pacioretty continues to perform the way he is, if Weber is still a decent defenseman, Petrie's still playing well, and you're able to maybe bring back Byron on another cheap deal, because man, that was an absolute steal. When you get first line wingers playing for $1 million, and you can get Galchenyuk, good price. This team would be pretty good in a couple of years. They need to build around it. That's the thing. They haven't been able to do that yet.
But they have the money to do it. They have the money to build around it. When you have a core piece like Carey Price, they could be a really good team in a few years. And it's not like they've been bad recently.
No,
they're always in the playoffs. So, god damn it, whatever. They still won't. The best team in the East is in the same division, but it's not. It's not much.
Like I don't know, calling Florida the best team in the East is a big stretch. So I don't know.
Do you think the Leafs will win the division this year? Or do you think I think Tampa's gonna win?
2 years. Tampa will win. They'll win 2 years. Tampa's a team that needs to use their quality prospects.
Yeah,
quick.
They were a little injured last year, but like I think I wouldn't be shocked if Toronto won the division this year, and like I wouldn't be surprised even. But I would pick probably Tampa this year. Like I said, 2 years. That's Toronto's year.
Yeah.
So
2 years makes sense.
Just to bring it back to Toronto one more time.
The Habs should consider bringing back like Thomas Vanek or signing Yager. But that doesn't address their right wing issue too, which I think would be pretty.
Okay, it's time for Yager to retire. Like,
Yager still puts up good points though.
I don't care. He's 44 years old.
44
or 45. Bro, even if he's 44 or 45, it's just go home. You know, go home. Be with your I don't know. It's unfair to tell people when to retire, but
like he started playing in 1988.
88. My brother wasn't even born.
Well, no, he started his first year in 1990 in the NHL, but
still, my brother wasn't even born.
He's 45 years old.
45 years.
45 years old, coming off of a 46-point season though. Like comparable numbers to Marlowe.
Bro, just like go on vacation for like 3 years or something. Do whatever the hell. You could do it just if you're 40.
He had 66 points 2 years ago.
What else does he have left to accomplish, though? That he actually realistically can?
Another playoff run.
But whatever. I can't tell a guy to retire. Like you said, he's still putting up points, so power to him. But
like he won with the Penguins.
Yeah, I mean that's what I mean. He's
Twice.
already won.
Look, he's won twice now.
Yeah, like I don't know. Did we talk about Carl Osner?
Yeah, unfortunately.
Just wanted to. I know you're not a big fan of that signing. I actually want him to sign with Toronto, but man, Montreal fans are pissed.
Yeah, the only Habs fans that get really excited, like, oh yeah, he's a great skater. No, he's not. Like,
well, but that's not really been the draw for Carl Osner. It's just that he's very like he's a stay-at-home guy, right? Like he's the kind of guy that balances out someone like Jake Gardner. That's why I want him in Toronto.
So Yager's played for 8 teams. Will there be a ninth? Or will he do what was very popular in free agency and he'll just start? He'll just go back to a team he already played for.
That would be. I don't know, man. Anyway, yeah, no, I don't know where he's going. Kevin Shattenkirk, what do you think about that deal?
The Rangers got a really good deal out of that.
I mean, yeah, I expected it to be way bigger. Was it like $6.5 million?
Yeah, around he could have been going for 7.5, around what Carlson's making.
Yeah, like we said, he barely got more than Patrick Marleau.
He is from New York, so it kind of makes sense. He's going
discount,
hometown discount. And let's put it this way: he had 14 points in 18 games when he got traded to Washington last year. Mm-hmm. He was one of the top scoring defensemen. And now you could say, well, that's not his role to score, but still, he's doing such a good job that he's worth it. I think that. What a deal for the Rangers. Yeah. They've probably got the best defenseman they've had since Brian Leetch. And he could turn something away. Did you know he had 6 points with TPS Turku?
What?
Yeah.
I don't even know what that means. That's not even a sense. Anyway.
TPS Turku is the Finnish team. It's hard to remember that he actually played 46 games with Colorado.
Yeah, I have no...
He was traded for Eric Johnson.
Huh.
Yeah, that deal worked out great for Colorado, right?
Yeah, seriously. He quite clearly... Do you think he ever thought about signing with another team? Like, the fact that he took only $6.5 million?
He got better offers, but I think the fact that...
No, he definitely did, yeah.
Yeah, he said he got more offers. I think the fact that he decided to take a lesser offer to go play with the team that he grew up watching says something. Like, if the Habs...
awesome,
like if the Leafs had an offer... 3 years, $4 million, and Minnesota offered you 6 years and $6 million. Would you not take the Leafs? Knowing that it could be the only chance you ever play for the team?
What was it? You said 4 years, $4 million, or 6 years, $6 million?
Yeah.
I don't know. I'd probably pick the Leafs. Here's the thing, though. I don't blame players at all for just taking the max amount of money possible. If a guy goes to Colorado tomorrow when he could to get $10 million a season when he could have went to another team to win, I don't blame him one bit.
Well, see, that's the other thing.
But I do respect. Like, I have a lot of respect for someone who does take.
People that say Wade Redden, terrible deal. It's like, you know what? If someone's going there and offering you big dollars, do you say no?
No, absolutely not. That's what I'm saying. Like, you gotta. I never blame players for the contracts they get. That's so dumb. That's a dumb thing that fans do. I don't know. The whole point... I know you want to win and stuff like that. That's your biggest drive, but you want to make as much money as possible. Sports is one of the rare occupations where you have a very short amount of time that you can make money, right? Yeah. The stars go until they're 38 or something like that, but most guys don't even go that long either, right? Like early 30s are retiring. You have an entire life ahead of you. It's also one of the rare jobs where you accumulate a lot of long-term injuries that affect you for the rest of your life. Right?
Yeah, so make the money when you can.
Yeah, I understand that they're getting paid to play a game that you play on the road with your kids or with your friends when you're a kid or whatever, and you'd love to play hockey for the rest of your life, and so would I, but it's not as simple as that. And do they get paid a lot of money? Yeah, but if it doesn't go towards them, it goes towards the owners, so I don't really understand the whole argument of getting mad at guys for taking a lot of money. That being said, I think it's awesome that Shattenkirk took a huge pay cut to play for the team he loved.
That's
really cool.
That shows that he's serious about helping this team out. Again, you want to maximize the last couple of years of Henrik Lundqvist's career.
Exactly.
And you've now given him the best defense to work with. And the Rangers have not had good defense for a long time. And you've now given him a number one superstar defenseman.
Yeah.
This all got to work on the offense, that's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
But if he plays well and Lundqvist plays well and they score goals, they're a major contender next year. Like, remember, they won the playoff series against the Habs.
Yes, they did. I did see that, yeah. Where do you think they finish this year in the Eastern Conference?
Rangers?
Yeah. What else?
Fourth.
No, the Blue
we
Jackets.
just switched to the Habs, so fourth.
Fourth?
I think they'll be a contender.
Yeah, I that's about where I see them next year as well.
The Blue Jackets, I think they come first in the NHL.
What?
Okay.
Like what? I don't know. It'll be interesting to see. I'm really like a few teams. I'm interested to see where they end up. Like Rangers. I want to see where the Capitals end up in the standings.
I think it won't be as good as the team host.
No, absolutely not. They've lost some valuable guys. The guys that they did hang on to. What did you think about the TJ Oshie deal?
Did I completely miss what happened there?
What do you mean?
What was his deal? I must have completely missed
8
it.
years, something.
For Caps, right?
Yeah.
Okay, no, I didn't know. Yeah, that number's you know what? Again, they need a core. How long is Ovechkin in their plans?
8 years, $46 million. 8 years. He's like 30. TJ Oshie, 8 years?
Yeah.
I think it's insane.
I think it's a little like.
I understand.
Put it this way, I hate deals over 5 years, anyways.
Yeah, I mean, I understand they were in a position where it's like, we're losing everyone.
We need to do something.
Yeah, like we need to retain some of it.
But I'm curious.
Don't pay that much for it.
Like, I wonder how much they were offering him at first. That couldn't have been the first offer.
No, absolutely not. I don't know. It's weird. Anyway, let's just go over some other signings real quick. What do you think about Justin Williams to the Carolina Hurricanes?
Williams to Carolina, I like that deal because I think he realizes his career's coming to an end soon enough.
Yeah.
He's going back to a team he started with, and Carolina's not going far.
No.
So.
He's won his cups. He won one with Carolina. He's won his cups. 2 with LA.
Work with a new team. Let's settle down, and if you want to live there the rest of your life.
I mean, he's making $9 million for 2 years. It's not bad. That's not bad at all.
4.5 season to be one of the best players on the team.
Yeah.
Like, that's a good signing for the team because you're getting a good guy who could score a lot, but like isn't going to cost you a lot either.
Yeah.
But like, would you take him or Oshie?
Wow. Like with the contracts included?
No, like at the same price.
At the same price? I mean, Oshie is 5 years younger.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, you gotta go for Oshie. Oshie's still a really good player.
Yeah, no, Oshie, like, okay, it almost sounds like I think Oshie sucks. Like, he's a good player. He's a good two-way player, but I just think 8 years is way too much for TJ Oshie. But, yeah, I don't know. I think it's a good signing. Like, Carolina knows they're not really going anywhere right now.
Oh, like, the thing is, the team's been deadbeat for almost 10 years now.
Yeah, so Justin Williams helped the young guys coming up. Let one of their guys, their original guys that was there for their cup win, retire on the team. I think it's fine.
I think it's a good signing.
Yeah.
He'll make good money. He's almost like Ray Whitney. He's still valuable.
Yeah. It's not like a huge deal, but...
No, not huge.
It's a thing. I know this one that you're really excited about.
Sam
got... Oh, you want to just...
What city was he from?
What's that?
He was born in London. Lives in Oakville.
Okay, just tell me what you think of...
Sam Gagner to Canucks, my favorite signing of the thing, and not because he's from Oakville, but because this is a guy who got 50 points on a very small contract. Came off of a great Stanley Cup championship in 2015, signs with Columbus, plays fantastic. Colorado gives him a pay raise of $3 million. $3 million, if he puts up 50 points, that's a steal. Total steal. Yeah. And let's not forget, this guy was a great junior player, had a lot of potential, was on Edmonton, the team that was going nowhere, kind of fell through the ranks. Now he's on a team where he can kind of prove himself. Let's not forget, he got 8 points in one NHL game. So, he's a good player. And if he goes to the Canucks and does great, fantastic. I think they've got a total steal. Colorado or Vancouver, every single signing they did this year was great. Did you know Minnesota signed 6 players on July 1st, and 5 of them were 1 year, $700,000 deals? Just a kind of cool fact.
What?
They kept signing all these guys who like the exact same deals. But I love that deal. I think that Sam Gagner is still a great player. I know his dad, he played in the NHL for a bit too. And again, I think that that was definitely a good decision.
Well, 3 years, just over $3 million a season. Like they're not paying that much for him. Like you said, there's a lot of upside. So
it's a cheap deal.
Yeah, when you look at signings, you look at upside. Like signings and trades, right? They're not taking much of a risk.
Like he almost matched Jonathan Drouin's point total. To put that in perspective.
Yeah, and Drouin's making $5.5 million.
Yeah.
So $3 million isn't tiny, but it's not big.
No, it's not going to hurt the team at all. Like, they have the room, and the Canucks need to do something.
Yeah,
would it be better for the team to lose all this year? Like, I think the Canucks are a much better team than they were a few weeks ago. That's for sure. But
I really like the signing.
Good decision.
A lot of upside, and that's what makes a good signing.
He likes out west too. He liked Edmonton, so he didn't want to leave.
And then last up, just want to do like a little fun segment. I try to always have a little fun segment. Today is July 4th, 2017. Who's your pick for the NHL Finals in like the 2017-18?
Yeah, so we
Finals?
were talking about it earlier. Like I typically don't go for the teams that are always like expected, because I think that's just lazy. But you know, the Vaxjo Lakers have never made it to the NHL Finals. And HC Kladno, I think.
Oh, come on.
I'm going to go with Pittsburgh, and I'm going to go with Anaheim. I think Anaheim had a really good year. Last 3 years, I picked Nashville and Tampa to be in the finals. Tampa, I think Tampa will be Final Four this year. And I think that team still looks really good. You know, offensively, they did lose Drouin, but if Sergachev plays well, assuming he actually makes the team, the team's defense core looks great. So I think the team's good. It's just injuries didn't help, and they traded their starting goalie midseason. So if Vasilevsky kind of holds it together, I think Tampa's going to be one heck of a team.
All right, I like that.
But it doesn't matter. Pittsburgh, I think, is still going to be really good because Pittsburgh's team has barely changed.
Yeah, no, they lost Bonino, but that's about it.
Matt Murray can now play a full season in the NHL.
Yeah, he's a rookie with 2 Stanley Cup.
Yeah, Ted Dryden was the first to do 1 Stanley Cup with as a rookie. So
Murray's the first to do it too. That doesn't make any sense. That doesn't make anyway. So my pick. So my heart tells me 2 things. Neither of them is my actual pick.
And Vaxjo Lakers is not one of them.
No, my heart. What? My heart tells me
they're pretty good in Champions Hockey League.
I don't even know what you're talking about.
The Champions Hockey League.
Wait, just let me do my pick. All right. Okay. My heart tells me 2 things. One is Leafs and Oilers, but we'll see that eventually.
Okay.
We'll see that eventually. The other is Blackhawks Penguins. I would die to see that.
I don't think the Hawks are as good as they could have been. Losing Panarin to bring in Saad is not the right decision, in my opinion.
I think if anyone knows Saad and Panarin, it's the Chicago Blackhawks. Like, who's better? What are you doing?
Well, I think that the team... I think, again, there's a reason that went on brought out Saad, but the price being Panarin, I don't know.
They've both played for... Chicago drafted both of them.
Panarin wasn't drafted. Free agent.
He's a free agent?
Yeah.
Okay, whatever. They both played for Chicago at the beginning of their careers, had great first seasons with them. Chicago knows them, like, who's better.
Yeah. And there's a reason that Kane and Taves wanted Saad back. So.
Yeah, like you said, Taves and Kane wanted Saad. So.
But then they traded away one of the more underrated defensemen in Harmelson for what exactly? So, that's the thing.
But anyway, I don't think Chicago's done. I just don't. They're not my pick. But I would love to see Pittsburgh and Chicago finally play in the finals. I don't know how we've never seen it. But my pick, I don't want to pick something too obvious, so I'm going to go with Tampa in the East against Nashville. I think
my prediction the last 3 years.
Yeah, I know. When you were saying it before, I was kind of like, oh, well, shit. But the feeling I got from Nashville's playoff run this year was not that it was when San Jose went to the Cup Finals 2 years ago, and it was like, awesome, finally they're here, like they've waited so long for this and all that, but it felt like either they win that year or it's never going to happen,
Yeah.
right? Last year with Nashville, just felt like this is them now. Like this is not the end of the story. They're a team that's going to be good for a few years, and I think they're going to carry over the momentum from this playoff run into this season. I think they're going to be a team to look out for. So I'll pick Nashville over the Tampa Bay Lightning on this day, July 4th, 2017. So.
All right, I feel like I'm going to change my picks eventually, but no,
obviously you're going to change your pick, but like right now, your very first shot.
Well, yeah.
Who's your MVP for next season?
Okay, I know I said McDavid earlier when we were talking.
Yeah, well, that's the obvious pick.
Like, Marco Wuya, kind of a good player.
You just...
Connor McDavid's my pick, or the G-string man, I don't know.
All right. Connor McDavid. I'm going to go with something slightly less obvious. Again, for me, there's no point in predicting a guy like Connor McDavid because, I mean, if you're right, you don't look that smart.
Yeah.
So I'm going to pick one where if I'm wrong, yeah. If I'm wrong, I don't look that dumb because it's far-fetched, and I'm saying it's far-fetched right off the bat. But if I'm right, I look like a genius. My pick for MVP is Brent Burns. So.
Brian Boyle. Congratulations. Brian Boyle is not the best player, but whatever you want.
What was the first one you said? Brian Bulk?
I'm going to say Brian Boyle.
Who was Brian Bulk?
He guy played in the LNAH, which is the Goon Hockey League.
Anyway, this has been a highly entertaining third edition of Mediocre Sports Talk. You can follow Steven at
Steven Ellis NHL, and follow my Jewish hockey tournament hockey coverage at Eurohockey.com.
In all seriousness, follow Steven on Twitter. If you want any information on hockey, any analysis of anything that's happening, like he's the guy to go to. So yeah, follow him on Twitter. Thanks for listening, and make sure to keep checking out mediocresportstalk.wordpress.com, and come back next week for another episode of Mediocre Sports Talk podcast. Thanks.